Okay, we're here. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's April the 19th, 2022. It is Tuesday, the day after Easter Monday. We're back. Everyone is back at work today. All the markets are open, all the exchanges, all the currency markets. It's all back to normal, and we can have we'll see if we get any kind of a direction today, because yesterday the market was generally directionless. It had nowhere to go by itself. The U.S. market was kind of floundering along. Not a lot of people were interested in taking a position yesterday on a whole lot of different things. We're back today to see where this world is headed. At the moment, I have the Dow down, or actually, I've got the Dow up 16 points. S&P up 3.25, and NASDAQ up about 18. These are the futures with an hour to go before we start to trade. Gold is down 280 an ounce. Crude oil down 250 a barrel, 250 a barrel lower to 105.69. Remember, a week or so ago, we were in the low 90s, 92, 94, in that neighborhood. Now we're 105, 107, 108. So we've run up almost $15 a barrel up to that 107, 108 level. Half of that is vulnerable. So a $2 to $5 pullback, even from here, would not be that outrageous. Now, there's always talk, always speculation on what would happen if this happens, what'll happen if that happens, and so on. And on the oil front right now, the talk is more and more about, look, the Europeans are saying to themselves, the Russia thing with Ukraine is going to continue on as long as Russia can continue to pay its soldiers and for its equipment, and if it believes, as the leaders of the country believe, that they're able to get their hands on capital after this skirmish is over to replenish their armaments, they're going to keep spending the dough to keep invading Ukraine. Now, Russia has got to be dropping a couple of billion a week at least to do this. It's already cost them 10 plus billion, maybe 20, and it's going to run them another 10 or 20 billion. So this is another reason why won't they stop? When you're 40 to 50 billion into something, you don't walk away without what you want. And as long as you don't regard human life as a valuable commodity, you throw your own people into the fray and you take out the enemy mercilessly, and you don't give a crap about the so-called war crimes tribunal or anything like that. You just don't. So as long as Russia feels that they can replenish their military situation, their reserves after, they'll continue to invest now. The Europeans are saying to themselves, one of the ways to guarantee the Russians might not think that way, that they might start thinking that, gee, we might only be able to raise a quarter of the money we think we can raise down the road. We might not be able to raise money at under 15% interest rates down the road because our credit will be worthless to the outside market. One of the ways to get Russia to think that is if you don't buy what they're selling for cash. And what are the two commodities they're selling the most of right now? Natural gas and oil. Who are the buyers? European countries. The Europeans are the ones fighting the Russians in Ukraine. Ukraine is the battlefield. It's the European countries against Russia. And this is why Russia can't overrun Ukraine, because the European countries are flooding the Ukrainians with all kinds of armaments, way more sophisticated than they ever had going into this conflict. And they're taking out cruise missiles from time to time. They're taking down helicopters and jets from time to time. They're sinking, Navy vessels, including the big ship. And they're knocking off all kinds of Russian tanks and personnel carriers and other entities with these drones. So Europe is helping Ukraine fight the Russians. The problem is that Europe is helping the Russians fight the Europeans by buying the oil and gas. So the Europeans are shooting themselves in the foot by buying the very item that the Russians need to sell the most of to keep funding the war against them. And the outside world is going, wake up. Like, what does it take for you people to understand If you want to beat the Russians, you have to outstarve them. You have to starve them out. Now, I don't mean necessarily from a food aspect. I mean from a dollars aspect, currency. And one way to do that is to sacrifice your own people economically against the Russians. And the problem, of course, is there are 400 million Europeans and there are 250 million Russians. And the 250 million Russians have no rights and they have no freedom. They can't even hold up a piece of paper saying no war without possibly going to prison for 10 years. I mean, they are terrified to rebel against their own leadership. So they're not going to get internal rebellion to turn this around. So you got to starve them out. Economically is the one way you can do it. Militarily, yes, of course. If the Europeans were to send in 1 million troops and every air force of the European Union were to attack the Russian Air Force, sure. The problem, of course, is that you got a guy with a twitchy finger in Moscow who might start launching nukes, because the last thing this guy's going to tolerate is any attack on his soil for any of his situations. So the battlefield has to be on foreign territory. Ukraine is the lucky state in the middle of all this. And the Europeans have got to make it so painful for the Russians to want to continue to do it that the Russians are going to want to negotiate a peace deal. Of course, the Ukrainians are going to go, get the hell out of our country before we even talk to you guys about a peace deal. And the Russians are going to say, give us half the country, and then we'll maybe talk about the other half. And on it goes. And so in the meantime, why should you care about everything I'm just talking about? It's simple. The price of wheat is going to stay at skyrocketing high prices. And that doesn't mean Americans and Canadians and North Americans are going to starve to death. We can afford to pay $5 a loaf for a loaf of bread. Believe it or not, yes, we can. We'll just eat it a lot more carefully, and we won't be so flippant with it, because right now bread is so cheap in North America and has been so cheap in North America that when we used to buy a loaf of bread for $1.89, we kind of went, geez, that's such a good deal. We were more interested in what it cost to put on the bread than actually the bread. But if bread went to $5 a loaf, we could pay it. The rest of the planet cannot afford that. There is the point that I'm trying to get at. You talk about 80% of Egypt's needs for wheat from Ukraine. 80% of Egypt's needs. You wonder, Bruce, why do we have to care about Egypt? Why do you keep doing this to me? I'm telling you, if Egypt becomes unstable because of food riots, it is a nightmare in North Africa. This will spread into Tunisia, Libya, Algeria. This will spread towards countries like Jordan, Beirut, all around Israel. That's a problem. The Israelis can afford $5 a loaf of bread. They're probably paying that now. They don't want to pay it, but they could. But the reality is that the entire Mideast region has a wheat shortage because it begins a domino effect. If you can't get wheat from Ukraine like you expected, you have to get it from somewhere else. Wherever else you're getting it from means that supplier isn't selling it to someone else that they used to sell it to. This is the domino effect. This is the shuffle of the cards on the table. There's only so many cards. You take a producer of those cards away, you have fewer cards and just as many hungry mouths to feed. There's going to be an issue somewhere. And the easiest place to cut the world off from wheat is the third world. It's the easiest place to cut it off because they're powerless. They have no power in the United Nations. They have no power economically. If you make it difficult for Sudan to buy wheat, it doesn't mean that Sudanese rebels are going to show up in downtown Pittsburgh and start shooting up the town. They're not coming over. They can't get there. But that region becomes unstable all around it, and that there are a lot of interests there for the Western world, whether it's European Western world, North American Western world, Asia concerns, shipping lanes. You start getting desperate people who are hungry. They start doing desperate things and they go elsewhere to eat because the hunger of someone's hunger makes people do things. that they wouldn't think of doing otherwise. And it's a chain reaction. It's one after another, after another, after another. And the Ukraine wheat crop is off the market. You can forget about 80% of Ukraine's wheat going out of its own country. If Ukraine produces 1/5 of the wheat that it normally produces, it'll be for its own domestic consumption. There won't be wheat going to Russia this year. There won't be wheat going to Poland. There won't be wheat going to Austria or Hungary or anywhere else. Now, it's not like Ukraine is the only wheat field in all of Europe. I mean, I don't want to over exaggerate this. Belarus has wheat fields. Hungary and other countries have wheat fields. Russia produces a lot of wheat, as does China. The problem is that collectively as a planet, there's only so much that's produced every year. And there are importers and there are a few exporters. Canada is an exporter of wheat. The United States is an exporter of wheat. But we cannot collectively solve the problem of shortages that are coming. And I'm just talking about wheat. I haven't talked about oats or barley or soy or any of the other raw basic materials for food, the basic food ingredients. We are talking shipping lanes destroyed, supply chains are destroyed, reliable brokers have been wiped out. The entire market of a segment of this entire food market has been eliminated from existence, all because of Russia invading Ukraine. Just a little old country, tiny little country, Ukraine. Russia coming in is created a tidal wave and a chain reaction of events that has just made it worse and worse and worse. On top of everything else, the Russians have been barred from playing in the international economic field as well. They're out. That means raw materials that are desperately needed at the factory level are off the playing field. And that has an accumulative effect over time. We find out as time goes on that, wow, a bunch of coal isn't reaching certain countries anymore, or a bunch of iron ore isn't getting out, or a bunch of other materials, other metals, minerals and metals from mining operations are not getting out. Yeah, sure. The Russians are paying an economic price, layoffs, people furloughed, all that stuff. Sure, but it's the other end of the business transaction also that is paying a price. So the very excuse me, the very, very strong relationship between Iran and Russia is now in jeopardy because the Iranians need basic goods from the Russians. The Russians need money. The Iranians, they've been under economic sanctions for decades, but they have had friends in high places to keep the flow of goods and services going. China and Iran are incredibly tight, to the irks, to the complete frustration of the Americans and the Europeans. The Chinese, on the one hand, smile and say to the Americans, thank you for buying all of our goods and services. Now I'll talk to you later. And then they close the door, go to the other meeting room over here, and the Iranians are waiting to do business. The Russians are waiting to do business. And China is wide open for business with everybody because China wants to become dominant on the planet. And they're number 2 right now, and they're not stopping. They still will not condemn the war in Ukraine. They will still not condemn. They still blame the United States and Europe for the problem in Ukraine. And so diplomatically, the mess continues. And this is going to have an effect on the stock market because people who like making money do not like uncertainty. They hate that. Business people don't like uncertainty. People in business, if you're just a retail store operator in your hometown, a store location from a landlord, the first concern on your mind is the stability of your landlord. What is the mental set of the landlord you're dealing with? Are they notorious for raising rents 10% a year, every year, no matter what? Are they impossible to deal with when it comes to fixing issues, structural problems with the building? The other issues you have are the city and town in which you are in. City taxes, city services. If your customer used to be able to park in front of your store on an angle free parking for an hour to do your shopping. Customers could park in front of your store, come into your store, buy something, get in the car, and go. If now you have to pay $2 for the first 20 minutes, you better have a real good reason to want to go into that store, because it's going to cost you $2 to go in that store. That's the admission fee, because you got to pay to park your car. This is what store owners worry about. Uncertainty like that. If the town's budgets are so strained that they triple the number of parking meter maids downtown to write tickets, and that is their income source, the store owners downtown immediately flee to the burbs. They shut the stores down downtown because it's impossible for the customers to come in without being harassed by either a speed trap just coming into downtown or leaving downtown, or the parking meter people downtown. The city has in effect chased away all the customers into downtown by trying to raise money. They're trying to raise more cash, and it backfires. And this has happened time and time again across America and Canada and everywhere else. Because we are so-called trying to go green and convince people to take buses and tram systems. The problem, of course, is you live in the suburbs and you'd like to go downtown. The problem is that for you to get downtown through a bus service or a tram service or subway system, it's so rickety, it is so under-maintained, it is so dangerous with respect to who hangs out at these stations. They're all outdoors. There's no indoor protection against elements. Who in their right mind is going to want to take public transit in North America to go downtown anywhere? And when downtown, you feel safe down there? Really? No, you don't. And so the burbs have taken over the suburban shopping mall. That's the way it went into the 80s and the 90s. And now even those are dying because the landlords are getting crushed by city taxes on the land, the property, because the cities are desperate for revenue. And now the shopping mall owners are abandoning their ideas of running a shopping mall, and on it goes. Businessmen hate uncertainty. Investors hate it, and stock investors hate it too. Good news. You want some good news? If you're an option writer, you're going, okay, I write options for a living. This is how I get by. There are always gamblers that are hoping for a lottery win. I'm going to keep selling lottery tickets on the stocks that I have, or on calls that I own that are deep in the money. I'm going to keep selling lottery tickets against these assets and pay my bills. That's how I'm going to play this game, because I'm not afraid of the upside anymore. I don't have to worry about the stock market going to all-time highs this month, catching me flat-footed. Yet again, I missed the biggest run in stock market history because I didn't buy every stock out there, or I didn't buy all those FANG stocks, or whatever I didn't do back in the last 5 or 8 or 10 or 15 years. I missed all those peaks. But now I do want to invest, and I do want to make money with my money, but I don't want to be the guy holding paper right now, because what about Apple? Apple and the China problem. I don't want to be holding all of my assets just on stock only. I don't want to be in just the FANG stocks. If I'm going to be in the FANG stocks, I want to be compensated for being a FANG stockholder. So Apple, I'll buy the stock for a 10-year hold. I'll be a long-term player, but I want to be paid right now. And I want to be given an insurance. I want insurance, some kind of a premium coming in against the risk of owning this stock. Because every stock you own is a risk. You're gambling, just like anyone else is gambling. You're gambling if you buy Apple. You're gambling if you buy Cisco. You're gambling if you buy IBM or Microsoft or any stock, GameStop, you name it, you're gambling. Well, there's a way to minimize the risk. Write options against these assets and make them give you a cash premium, whether it's every week or every 2 weeks or several times in a month, twice a week, whatever strategy you want to use for writing options. They're available to you. You do not have to fear the fact that Apple might go to $200 a share this week to next month, because I can assure you that Apple is not going to come out to the street and say, everything's fine. Shanghai, there's no problems in Shanghai. There's no problems in China. There's no problems with supply chain issues. Everything is fine in China. Everything you heard was wrong and was fake news. There's no virus. No one died. No one is ill. Everything is great. and we got all the product we want. As a matter of fact, we have more iPads and more MacBook Pros and phones than we know what to do with. It's just fantastic. That is not going to happen. Okay, not going to happen. What we're going to get are we're going to soon start getting the warnings, earnings updates, alerts, analyst downgrades, analyst revisions. There's all kinds of words for this stuff, okay? I call it the old heads up. We're going to start getting heads ups from corporations themselves and the analysts that follow these corporations. And the heads ups are going to be, you're going to be numb with how many times you're going to get this. You're going to hear this everywhere. We have got interest rate issues now that are beginning to become a problem. The 10-year Treasury note for the United States of America is approaching 3% for the 10-year note. Great if you're a buyer of the note. You're going to get 3% interest from the United States of America. The citizens of the United States of America are pledging to pay you up to 3% interest on your money if you lend the country money for the next 10 years. And it's in US dollars, which is the home currency right now for the planet. This is great if you're an investor, but it's terrible if you're a pension fund and you think, yeah, that's 3% now, but you know what? In about a month or two, that's going to be 3.5%. I can't lock up $25 billion into 3% treasuries for 10 years. If I know that in 3 months I can get 3.5% on that multi-billion-dollar pot of money, I'm going to get fired if I don't generate the returns, maximum returns. So I will be into 30-day notes. I'll just be into the 30-day notes that mature every 30 days. I'll be into maybe 90-day notes. I'll stagger money into 30 and 90 and whatever notes to roll into those 10s when they do reach the 3.5, because even then I'll assess it. And if I see that the 10 years are paying 3.5, but they might be paying 4% 3 months after that, I might only buy a little bit of those 10s. And there's less money coming into the banking system, less money coming into the bond market, which means yields go higher because people get greedy. Pension funds are greedy. Hedge funds are greedy. Mutual funds are greedy. We're all greedy, you know. We all want a return for our money. Interest rates are a problem. Inflation, obviously, is a problem. The China problem is a mega problem. And I come back down to the basic ingredients. If China cannot import enough wheat for itself, cannot import enough oil or gas or other raw commodities like iron ore, nickel, cadmium, silver, everything you need to build cell phones, computers, washers and dryers, cars, battery systems, computer software systems. You can't build entire IT data collection centers in China because you can't get the raw materials in from a reliable source. This is a problem. This is going to mean inefficiency at the high economic level, which puts China, the USA, and everyone else running at 80% capacity. We're all running at 80% capacity. We are laying off people. We are letting people go on furlough. We are giving people a 2-month furlough. We'll see in 2 months because we don't need you for a while. I don't have the materials in-house to employ you to make what it is I need to make. If you're a shipper receiver, you're going to find that FedEx's, UPS's, these other shipping companies are going to lay off 15% of their staff. They don't need as many truckers. They don't need as many loaders and unloaders. The manufacturer of forklifts, all the forklift manufacturers, and there are many around the world, they're going to be laying off people because you don't need as many forklifts to move as many packages. 80% efficiency means a recession, a depression recession. It is huge, and it will affect the countries that do the most trading. What countries do the most trading? The G20, the ones with the money. The top 20 countries of the world dominate 80% of the economic output of the planet. It would only make sense. Why would Rwanda be a major economic power. They're not. They've got maybe one or two things they're good at, but they're not a G20 country. The United States, Canada, Britain, Italy, France, Germany, and on it goes. You know who those 20 are. If we are not as active economically as we could be, then we're laying off people within our systems, and the third world will pay a dear, dear price. That means political and military instability. You're going to see more coups take place. You're going to see more governments being overthrown. You're going to see this country upset at this country because they are bordering each other, and this country thinks that this country thinks, and I think, and what you think, and you have food and we don't, and you have this, and disputes. And then we go back into the, well, I remember my great, 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 great grandfather hated your great, 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 great grandfather. And now here we go with the genocide nonsense. It is always there, bubbling under the surface, ready to come out whenever the current leader of the day needs an issue to get reelected. All right. Every politician needs an issue to keep getting reelected. And if you can't blame the opposition guy for all the troubles of your country, you blame other countries for the problems that you have. See, in China, you can't blame another communist for all the problems inside communist China. See, one mayor of China can't blame another mayor, or a governor of China can't blame another governor. So what happens is China complains to its citizens. The government of China, which is the Communist Party, blames the United States and the Western world for all of your problems. You, as a Chinese person sitting in a 38th floor condo in downtown Shanghai, where you're locked in, can't get out, can't buy food, medicine, can't see your relatives, can't go and see mom and dad, nothing. You're locked in. The reason that you're in there is not the fault of the Chinese Communist Party. It's the fault of the United States of America because of their policies and their Western ways. That's all it is. And that's the game. And as long as that works, as long as it works, the game continues. It's as simple as that. We have in our countries our own way of complaining and our own way of sharing blame and pointing blame as to why our problems are the way they are. And in Canada, it's liberals against conservatives. In the United States, it's Democrats against Republicans, or it's this demographic against this demographic, or it's race against race, or it's immigrants, or it's taxes, or it's whatever. There's always someone we're looking for to blame, rather than looking in the mirror and maybe figuring out we're part of the problem, and maybe we can make our lives better by getting off our fat asses and doing something about it. But it's so much easier to point and assign blame on others. Ted Cruz in Texas, the ultimate pointer. I mean, this guy is the ultimate pointer that it's always somebody else's that is causing the problems of your world. Your world, Ted Cruz will help you identify whoever it is that's necessary to be identified to tell you why your world isn't as working out the way it should be. And our friend and governor in Florida, governor in Texas will do exactly the same thing. And politicians in Washington do exactly the same thing. Now it's down to city councils, and now it's inside school boards. I mean, my God, it's becoming ridiculous. Canada, we're just as governed as the United States is. We have government at every level, all over the place. And many, many Canadians just go, why do we have so many layers of bureaucracy in our country? Why is there so much of this stuff? Maybe that's the problem. We're just over-governed. But that's what Ronald Reagan used to say in the 60s and 70s. We're over-governed. We have too much government in our lives. Until he became president and made government even bigger than it was ever before, and even more intrusive into the lives of Americans, because you can't stop the machine. The machine continues on. We demand services. Someone has to provide them. And the services that are provided by governments and agencies, or government agencies that hire private businesses to provide services. And that means the system gets larger and larger. And the bigger the system, the more valuable for private enterprise the system becomes. And you don't want to change the status quo. And so you have businesses in Washington with hundreds of thousands of lobbyists acting on their best interests to keep things exactly the way they are, so it's advantageous to certain companies, or they propose change so that the changes made are advantageous to their future business needs. And the average American be damned, because again, businesses don't care about politics per se. They don't care about the individual. Businesses care about business. It's not personal. It's all about making money. And businessmen around the world, they look at the potential return on the risk and make a decision whether to make a move or not, whatever that move happens to be. This morning, we're up 3 points on the Dow, nothing burger. We're down 1.5 points in S&P, nothing burger. And we're down 13 on NASDAQ. It's a nothing burger. We got nothing going on. The market doesn't know what direction to go right now. What is the market waiting for? Tomorrow, they're waiting for Tesla. Tesla will announce their earnings tomorrow, probably after the bell, I suspect. Next week, Apple announces their numbers. And everyone in between those two companies will be announcing in the next 2 weeks. Every software company, every computer company, every car company, all the distributors, suppliers, we're all coming out with earnings. This next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be drowning in earnings, but we will be beginning to get the notifications, I think, of possible earnings warnings. And coming back to Apple and going over to any company that is dependent on any raw materials out of China, manufactured parts, or fully assembled items out of China, all of them are going to be warning us that supply chain issues are worse now than they were 6 months ago or a year ago. They've deteriorated faster and further than we thought. Tesla's factory has been shut down. It's been producing a fraction of the vehicles that it's been producing up until a month ago. Apple, same thing, fraction of the production coming out of there. Despite the silent treatment you're getting from everybody, there are issues in Shanghai and another 400 cities. 450 million Chinese are locked down. 450 million. There's only 350 million Americans in existence, maybe 360 million. There's 35 million Canadians. Add our countries together, 400 odd million. There's more than that number of people locked up in China right now by its own country. And they don't dare go outside. They do not dare go outside. The funny thing is that if 450 million Chinese decided enough of this, I'm going outside for a walk, how in God's green earth does the army of China and the secret police of China and all the other goon squads they have lock up 450 million of their own people? It's impossible. But the scare tactics are so real. The terror tactics are so real. They don't dare go out of their houses. Look at Russia. Many Russians have got what we call VPNs on their computer systems. They can get CNN out of the United States. They can get the New York Times, the Washington Post, Fox Television Network. They can get any media source they want, the BBC, German publications out of Turkey, India, wherever they want to get news from, YouTube videos from. They can watch Uncle Bruce if they want. Through a VPN, you can do it. Many Russians are doing this, especially those under 40. You can imagine that 18 to 35-year-old Russians, the kids, have all got a VPN at home, and they're all watching what the rest of the world is saying is going on in Ukraine. And they are looking at 20 different news outfits, including their own outfit, and they're noticing that the Russian media says one thing, and all the other media everywhere else is completely different, and they're all consistent. And they've got to be asking themselves, why are we the outliers? We're the only truth tellers in the world? Can't there be another country that tells the truth like Russia does, that is outside of Russia, outside of Putin's influence? They have to know just how ugly the situation is. And there is no doubt as to why is it that hundreds of thousands of young Russians single without families, or newly married, or engaged couples, or couples with small children, are getting out. They're leaving Russia, and they're headed wherever they can get to find a gig, a working gig somewhere else. And they're more than welcome. If you're in the high tech world, you are more than welcome in almost any of these European countries. Come on over here and set up shop here, because you're working remotely, probably with European partners as it is. And now they're getting access to their money through Western banking, of course, and they can build a solid career. And they're not in a situation where they go to the grocery store and see this shelf is full, this shelf is empty, this one is full, this one is empty. Imported goods not to be found anywhere. Domestic Russian goods, yes, but it's spotty. They're walking. The elders they remember the old days. They go, we can survive. We survived the Cold War with the Americans, and the Berlin Wall and the Iron Curtain. We it's not that bad. We remember worse. The kids won't tolerate anything near that, because they know they're looking at world reports going, the IKEA store is in Madrid, Spain. The IKEA is in Barcelona. There's IKEAs in Berlin. There are IKEAs in Hamburg. There are IKEAs in Finland, Sweden. Why are we in Moscow? There are no IKEAs open anymore here. Even IKEA workers have got to be asking, why am I staying here in Moscow? I can get a job with IKEA in Sweden. I can immigrate out of here and literally legally move to Europe. Why would I live here with this shit going on? I don't understand it. And if any Russian wants to protest the war in public, all bets are off whether we're going to ever see you again. You might be behind some gulag for a while, and who knows? All bets are off. The horror stories that Russians tell other Russians when they've been detained deters people from wanting to be detained. So you have a choice. Shut up and bear it. Or if you have a choice to get out, you may want to get out. And they are taking that option in a huge, huge way. And it's reported a bit, but underreported and happening. The brain drain of Russia is accelerating, and it started after Putin won his last election, his so-called last victory a few years ago, his so-called latest election. That one was so stacked when he jailed Navalny, the guy that was going to win, put him in jail, and then they came up with 25 new charges. Every 3 months, they come up with another charge and another charge and another charge, and they add another 3 years and another 3 years and another 3 years to his prison sentence, because we don't serve concurrently. We just add to it, and he's in prison for the rest of his life in Siberia. He won't be a problem anymore. The Russians have noticed that. They're not stupid. They know. And they're going, yeah, he was kind of that 38, 45-year-old generational change guy. The old man isn't going to allow that. Putin is now an old man. He's not that young, virile, 40-year-old leader we once had. He's now pushing his 70s, soon to be 80s. The guy is never leaving. The only way that Putin is leaving his office is in a box, okay, to be buried among the honorable Russian leaders of the past. The young in Moscow and elsewhere are going, I'm not interested in this game. I don't want to be in politics. I don't want to be a good communist politician. I think I'll just walk. I'll just quietly leave and establish life elsewhere. And that's what's happening. So on we go. Anyway, I rant, I rave, I go over all kinds of areas. Thank you all for being here today. We have a lot to watch as usual. Oil now down $2.79 a barrel to 105.42. We're watching pre-market trades. Let's take a look at some of our pre-market favorites, as we are now 21 minutes away from opening for the day. I've got Rocket Lab showing 801 up 2 cents. I see SoFi at 715 up 2 cents. GameStop is up $1.53 to $143. AMC is down 6 cents to 1762. Matterport right now down a penny. 23andMe is showing down 4 cents. I don't have any trades yet on Spire or ATIP from this morning. SmartRent is showing unchanged this morning. Cyxtera, no trades yet. Apple is showing down 29 cents a share to 164.78. Goldman up 44 cents to 330. 33. Little gain there. Cisco down 11 cents to $51. Tesla up 67 cents to $1,004.96. Numbers come out tomorrow on Tesla, as I said. ARC Innovations down 29 cents to 57.06. Microsoft down $1 to $279.50. Bed Bath Beyond down 6 cents to 16.88. Pfizer down 15 cents to 51.70. And Hewlett Packard up 7 cents to 38.51. That is where we're at the moment. There's a lot of economic activity to come up with, news to come up with yet. We're going to get, of course, earnings all this week and next week and the week after. This is going to greatly affect markets, but I really believe we're about to get inundated with the upgrades, downgrades, and warnings, earnings warnings, sales warnings, logistical delivery warnings, this kind of stuff. And you're going to have to force yourselves. It's going to be very difficult, but you're going to have to force yourselves to want to know what they're saying. It's easier said than done to do it, but you're going to have to really pay attention to what the analysts are saying and prognosticators are saying, because we are now seeing stuff like the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Normally those announcements are snooze fests. Headline: War in Ukraine will lead to significant slowdown in global economy, from the IMF. You better pay attention to that one. That is serious stuff to comprehend and understand. The International Monetary Fund is saying to us in a roundabout way, it doesn't matter what governments do to try to stimulate the economy, or whether they raise rates to control inflation or whatnot. The U.S. Federal Reserve right now is probably down a path they should have been down a year ago. The Federal Reserve of the United States should have been raising rates 1/4 of a point every month or so a year ago. We should already be now at a 2% federal funds rate. We're only at a 25 basis point fund rate, 1/4 of a point. We're about to go to a 3/4 point later this month or next month, and then we're going to go to a 1 1/4 point level in about 60 days, 90 days from now. We should already be at 2 points going to 3, but we waited too long. The Fed waited too long, and inflation began to take hold and just kept coming, and the Fed did not react instantly. In Europe, the European Central Bank, the ECB, they've been dealing with all kinds of problems over there for 2 years now. The problem in Europe is that Europe as a whole, the entire European Union, 350 million, 400 million people, they've been in a recession for a year. Their economies collectively have been shrinking 1/10 of a point a month. Germany is not in recession. They're fine. France is holding its own. Italy's breaking even. But a lot of countries in Europe are backing up. They're not able to stay ahead of all kinds of economic headwinds, which now includes inflation at a global number we haven't seen in a long time. The ECB could be trying to tackle inflation like the Fed is trying to attack it in the US. The problem is that the ECB doesn't have what the Fed has. The Fed in the US is looking at a 0 unemployment rate. The official number is 3.5%, 4%. There is no unemployment in America. Any American that really wants a job can get a job. You might have to move to get it, but there are jobs in America way more than job seekers. That's not the case in Europe. That opposite. There are more seekers for work in Europe than jobs available. COVID had a lot to do with it, of course. And so the ECB doesn't want to raise rates to fight inflation. They're worried that if they raise interest rates, they're going to make unemployment worse. They're going to make it more expensive for business to be in business. It's already expensive to be in business in Europe with inflation the way it is, and with all kinds of restrictions having been had and now slowly coming out. The logistics are a mess. Businesses are having trouble being in business. The last thing they need in Europe is now to have higher interest rates, which will scare off average Europeans from making an investment in like a new car, or getting a washer and dryer, buying a new kitchen outfit, or buying a living room couch or easy chair. Europe does not want a further slowdown of its economy. It actually would like a ramp up. The problem Europe has is that there's a country over here called Ukraine that is a bloody mess, an absolute economic disaster, and it is affecting all of mainland Europe with much higher prices and restrictions of goods. And now, on top of everything else, there are 4.5 to 5 million refugees who have come into Europe from the Ukraine who now need to be looked after. And that is being paid by the 400 million Europeans through their governments, through food and shelter. This is a cost to all of Europe. And Europe now, as I said at the beginning of this rant, Europe has to decide whether to make it even worse on themselves by banning the import of all Russian goods, including natural gas and oil. If Europe does that, they will move the spot price of these commodities higher. They will have to possibly put in rationing for their own citizens for gasoline at the pump. They may have to ration gas to so many gallons a week per car, or whatever the deal is. There's going to have to be a price paid by Europe to use less, because they can't import what they need to make up for what's happening over here from Russia. The Middle East cannot deliver 3 million barrels a day more of crude to Europe. They haven't got the capacity to bump up production. They can't do it. And so the only way that the Western world, and in this case Europe, can actually get off of Russian oil is to use less of the oil in its entirety. And you could say, well, if they just buy Teslas, they'll just drive electric cars. Sure. But to do that, you're going to have 5 million Teslas delivered this year to Europe. Tesla, the company, just broke 1 million cars a year in global production. Global. They just opened the Berlin plant. They're going to do 50,000 cars a year this year. Next year, they'll get to 250,000 cars. There is no way that Europe will be electrified for vehicles in any way in the next 6 months to get off of Russian oil. The only way to do it is Europe has to cut its usage by about 15%, all the oil they use now. And the fastest and easiest way to do it is to tell Europeans, kids, we're going to limit the amount of fuel you can buy for your personal vehicle. And the good news for many Europeans is that Europe is the quintessential leader in mass transit across the planet. You want to travel in Germany from one part of the country to another, and within the city, transit systems are world class, incredibly efficient, and all integrated. And if Europe decides to go that route, to cut back on personal cars, perhaps delivery fleets will be on a restricted schedule as well. They actually pay that price and use less of the fuel. The price of oil would actually collapse, and Europe will get by on what it's getting by on. The problem, of course, will be more unemployment, most likely, because it's an economic slowdown, self-inflicted slowdown. But it's a price Europe has to want to pay. They have to want to pay it to beat the Russians, because it's an economic war. Yes, they're using bullets and bombs, but they're also using economics. And that's the weapon that America is using against Russia, banking restrictions and all kinds of stuff. And now import and export restrictions are being set up left, right, and center. Certain countries are not in that game right now. China and Russia, wide open border. China will buy anything Russia wants to sell it. And so we have to decide now in North America, what price are we prepared to pay to show the Russians who's boss, or indirectly show China that we're prepared to pay a price to not have you guys act the way you're acting. In the meantime, the other problem is Taiwan. 25 million people on an island 60 miles off the coast of China. They're trying to be their own separate country, and China claims Taiwan as its own. Sound familiar? Ukraine, Russia, here we go. And America is Taiwan's biggest defender. How's this going to go? What price do Americans want to pay? What price will Americans pay to help defend Taiwan against China? And the price I'm talking about, not necessarily dollars so much, but how many Marines and how many Air Force, how many Navy, and how many Army is the United States prepared to cough up to defend Taiwan against the second largest military on the planet behind the United States and right now? That's the question. And with the president in the office that we have right now, that you have right now, I don't know if a third of Americans want to do anything for Taiwan right now. If there were a Republican in the White House and the Republican had no interest in Taiwan's future, then Taiwan is doomed to the Chinese invasion that will likely come in whatever form it comes. I don't know what the interest level is for certain countries out there, and that's where Japan is extremely concerned. South Korea is extremely concerned with America's attitude right now towards the territorial integrity of that South Asia area. There's all kinds of issues. The Filipinos, they are worried because they have not got anywhere near enough military to defend themselves against a Chinese expansion plan. There are issues there. And right now, the Chinese are watching how the Americans and the Europeans act in Ukraine. And they're just saying, well, let's just see how much of a price are they prepared to pay. The only thing going for America right now and Europe right now, the G20, that is keeping China off of its game is the virus. The funny thing is the virus has actually become an ally of the Western world against China. And yet no Western country is doing anything to make life uncomfortable for Chinese nationals being locked up by their own government. I mean, that's a self-inflicted wound that China is putting on its own people. But China has decided that they do not want 5 to 10 million people to die in China from this virus. And so they've decided to do the lockdown game to try to divert it all. And by doing the lockdown game, you have prevented people from talking to each other to compare notes. What's happening in your town? What's happening in your town? What's happening in your building? What's happening in your building? You can't do this. And so China has done the complete social media, news media, and intercommunication lockdown for 450 million people. And the amazing thing is that of those 450 million, they're all vulnerable to the virus, of course, because we've got case numbers that are just through the roof. It's actually holding China back from what it ultimately would like to be doing, blaming the Western world for all of its troubles and now expanding militarily to solve these problems. They can't do it. They got enough domestic issues to worry about. It's quite amazing. In the meantime, they're watching Russia and Ukraine going, we're watching that too. That's the second thing we're watching. And the third thing we're watching is the economic fallout from this whole damn thing, which is affecting China's GDP number way below average. And they're now revising lower China's potential growth in its economy this year and next. And that was unthinkable 5 years ago, utterly unthinkable, as cranes were going up everywhere in every major city in China, building. And all of a sudden, it's all come to a halt. And they're going, what is this? Is this temporary? Can we blame the Americans for this? All of a sudden, maybe you can't. And so we're following that too. Kids, welcome to the world at large. There's a lot for you to watch and wonder about. The good news is those of you who are watching me here live from around the world, who have become, through the osmosis of this channel, as this channel has evolved in the last year, many of you have now become option writers. You figured out, geez, that old guy's right. If I write options against the stock I already own, I can bring money in when no one else I know is making money in the market. I don't have a friend of mine anywhere that I know that is bragging about how rich they're getting in the market. I just don't have that. I don't hear that. I don't hear them telling me, oh yeah, I bought this thing at this price and sold it at that price. 6 hours later, I made a pile of money. No one is able to tell stories like this. But here's this old guy talking about writing options. and bringing in this income every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month. This money keeps coming in from these players. These friends of mine and friends of friends and friends and friends of theirs, all their pals out there, they know and don't know, that are option gamblers. There are millions and millions of people around the world gambling on options to take them out of the poorhouse. And you guys have figured out, well, I can make money from these guys. This is great. I'm the casino. They're the gamblers. And I got these slot machines with the stock names on them. They can come into my slot machine and play my slot machine. I win every time. And here we go with GameStop. Even though it ran from 78 to 208, it's back to 141. Yesterday got down to 137. All kinds of money has been made on GameStop in the last 2 weeks as it's backed off. The only people making money on GameStop the last 2.5, 3 weeks have been viewers of this channel who've written options against their stock. Even on rollovers, they've made money. Even when they were wrong and the stock went up when it shouldn't have gone up, my viewers are still making money on this thing. And here we are at 142 now, up 54 cents. We're not going anywhere at this point. Those of you who've written options on AMC the last 3 weeks, you're rich. You've done really well. If any of you out there wrote $30 calls, $25 calls, like 30s, 29s, 28s, 27s, 26s, 25s, 24s, 20, all the way down to $20 calls, you've made nothing but money the last 3 weeks on AMC. I mean, it's just handing you millions and millions of dollars collectively, if not billions. Those of you who've written options on Apple when it hit 181 earlier this year, those of you who've written options on Goldman Sachs when it was in the high 300s, those of you who've written options on Microsoft when it was at 310, 300, 290, you've all made money again and again and again and again. And here we are, still not afraid of the upside. We're selling into strength. I'm telling you to write options into strength wherever you can find it, because these markets aren't going anywhere. I mean, there's too many issues out there to worry about for this market to go anywhere. Business people are concerned about the next 3 to 6 to 9 months, and they're cautious. And that means the markets are not being chased. There isn't like a desperate wad of money chasing stocks because I have to hold stocks in my portfolio by the end of this month to make my quota. There's none of that urgency anywhere. And so stocks are under pressure. They have little runs and then they have big drops. They have little runs and they have big drops. And this is where option writers are just going, this is great. Oh, this is fantastic. I'm writing options on Pfizer. I'm writing options on American Airlines. I'm writing options on Boeing. I'm writing options on all kinds of stocks that were high flyers, all those FANG stocks that were high flyers. I'm writing options on all of these, and they're just paying me handsomely. And I get to choose as an option writer what option to write. Do I write an option that's good for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 4 months? I can go as long out as I want, short out as I want, at the money, out of the money. Easy peasy, nice and easy. And those of you who are going to my website, thank you for visiting stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Why are they going there? Because up here in the top corner of that website are the links to classes on how to write options, how they work, how they depreciate, how they turn into dust as they run out of time to exist. And folks are taking my classes one after the other, and they're talking to each other right here, right here. They're talking to each other. I wrote this. I bought them back. I wrote these for $12. So I brought in $1,200. I paid $200 to get it back. A week later, I made $1,000 this week on one contract. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. There are others here who are doing this time and time again who don't comment. They're doing it silently, and they're saying, thank you, Uncle Bruce, because they figured out through this channel there's a whole world out there where I can get myself some money to be made. Anyway, there you have it, everybody. Thank you all for being here. We're about to open up for trading. Let's get this party started, kids, and see where this market wants to take us. There could be a lot of money being made here today, tomorrow, the rest of this week. It's kind of exciting. I kind of like it. Nice to have you all here. Thank you, all of you, for joining this channel as subscribers. Thank you for those of you joining this channel as members. Love having you here. Thank you for those of you who are renewing your memberships to this channel. You guys are absolutely the backbone keeping this guy going. If I were trying to live off of the YouTube revenue that is being offered me, I'd be broke in a heartbeat. It's memberships. That's what it is. And choose your level. You can be a $9.99 a month member and hang out here with this gang, or join this group right here, the premier members of this channel, Gold Bagel members, and enjoy a update every morning before 8:30 in the morning, and a Wednesday night primetime show just for you guys, on top of being able to do this. Thank you all. And those who are taking classes, thank you for taking my classes. I appreciate it. And I sure hope it's helping you make money. Not Larry, do I still have a day job? Titus just rang the bells. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Anti-PC says, buy his classes. Word to the wise. Just there it is. Thank you, Anti-PC. You know I love you. Thank you so much. Mark, Bruce works for Citadel. That's why he tells you the right options on GameStop. Bruce is working against GameStop. You can tell Mark isn't a member. I love how people have been saying that. They were saying that last year, and no one's proved that point. No one can prove that I do that. I'm just a guy in front of a computer talking in a low-tech environment without any fancy graphics, no fancy background stuff. It's kind of boring. Most people just listen to this voice. They don't even watch the screen. And I'm supposedly employed by Citadel? Really? Really? Wow, that's cool. Good morning, Simpletons, says Duncan. Christine, Christia, hi there, Christina. Did he say HPE in the pre-show? I forget. No, HPQ. Hewlett Packard. HPQ is the symbol. That's the one you want to look at. A free thinker. While I luckily made money on Uncle Bruce's picks, I wouldn't recommend playing them to anyone again. I made $2,000 on ME calls, lost 900 on ATIP calls. Pure luck, boy. Buy and hold value is the way. Well, whatever works for you. It's all good. You can say it any way you want to say it. You're happy. You're not happy. You've done well. You haven't done well. I will say. I will hazard to guess that there are a whole bunch of folks here who have written call options in the last 6 months who are smiling from ear to ear and have figured out, I can't believe I'm allowed to do this. I cannot believe it's legal to actually write call options, bring the money into my account first, and then decide when to buy them back for whatever price I want to pay for them. This is, I've never had this happen to me before. Usually I spend the money to buy a stock, and then I watch it go down in value, and I wonder, why did I do that? It's incredible. Swiss Butter, Anti-PC, I actually learned a good bit listening to you. She says, buy the classes. You should buy the classes. DQ, HPQ, Christina, that's the one. Testy Donkey, laugh out loud. Bruce works for Citadel. Yeah, there you go. Bruce works for Bagel Makers and Horseradish for sure. Christina, it's HPQ. Testy, Bruce works for the Big Bagel. Duncan, coffee, it's time. Suxel. Yes, Anti-PC knows her stuff. H. Gregory, sheesh, the non-members are so salty. It's incredible. I opened the chat up in the first few, half an hour or so, first hour, to the street. Anybody can make a comment as long as we keep it PG rated. And the hate comes out. Just the hate. There's some who are here who are very nice to me and very kind. And I understand not everybody can justify being a member of the channel. I get it. It's YouTube. What do you want? And I don't charge $1.99 a month to be a nominal member of this channel. There's a price to pay to be part of this channel. It's $9.99 or it's $24.99 a month, US. It's not cheap, but I think I give value for the money. And I've been told a zillion times by viewers, you don't change anything. As a matter of fact, I have viewers who constantly tell me you should just charge $50 a month. And that's it. You should just charge $50 a month and don't let anyone else in. And you'll have 150 viewers. And there you go. There's your core. And the rest can watch for free. And there you have it. And then you can offer those folks more perks because they're dropping $600 a year on you. and leave it at that. Would make your life a lot simpler. But we're out there, and I don't want to do that kind of thing. But it's exciting to be here. I love doing this. I don't have to be doing this. I'm retired now, but I sure love it when viewers tell me, I wrote options. You told us about writing options on that stuff. I did that, and I made $3,000 this week. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. I love this. Did it just the way you told us, and there you go. So Silica, they're still hate watching. What's that about? They're still hate watching. Free thinker, we'll see how those guys feel down the road. Agayoti, a mark just nonsense with no evidence. Bobby, Night Shaman movie. Uncle Bruce, it's actually the gray trolls in the chat. Bill, bye, Mark. Clay has become a YouTube member. Clay 180, how you doing, man? Thank you for popping in here. Has become a Chillin' with Uncle Bruce member. Thank you, Clay 180. I'm glad you're a part of our family. I'm not sure if you're coming back as a renewal, but you know what? If you're here as a returning member, I welcome you back. If you're here for the first time ever, welcome to the party, pal. Nice to have you here, and hopefully the gang I know will welcome you in, but hopefully you're making money, and we'll make money. Bobby, I think you're on to something. Beach Boy, hi, Uncle Bruce. I entered limits on my buyback on GameStop. My April 29 160s are 165, and the July 160s are 1765. That's $1 lower from yesterday. I'm sitting by the lake right now, and I'll tell you, man, you get those fills, and it's thousands of dollars worth it for you. Could I be happier? Nope, could not be happier. Love it. It is just so simple. The price depreciation of these contracts as they near their expiry dates is crushing all the gamblers out there, and it's the writers like Beach Boy and others who sit back and go, thanks, man. Thank you for this free money. I appreciate it. I'm never selling my GameStop. I'm a fan. I love the company, but boy, I love getting paid to hold GameStop. I love being paid to be a shareholder of Hewlett Packard. I love being paid to be an in-the-money option holder of Apple or Goldman Sachs or whichever, because I love these poor man covered call strategies that Bruce talks about in his classes. This is my money I never thought I'd make from the market because all I've ever done is buy and sell. Buy and sell. I try to buy low and sell high. The problem is no one ever tells me when to sell. No one ever says, this is the high trade of all time. You should sell now. No one ever tells you that. Everyone says when it hits the high, it's going higher. And I hang in there and I watch it go down and down and down, and then I lose everything. I just can't stand it. With an option program, you have to sell first. You have to write the contract first. You got to sell it. Then you're buying it back. It's so easy to buy. It's always easy to buy. Go to a grocery store, it's easy to buy. You ever tried to sell your butcher a pound of hamburger? They're not going to buy your burger from you. I don't buy, I just sell. Well, we're buyers at the grocery store. We're not sellers at the grocery store. Here in the stock market, we're sellers. We're always sellers. And we become expert sellers to take in top dollar from these gamblers on these options. The trick is you have to learn how options work. You have to understand the philosophy behind the options market. There are 12 classes waiting for you on my website. Check them out at your leisure and watch them as many times as you want and figure out, you'll learn how options work. And there you go. Anyway, I'd be gone, says Wooly Clay. I have plenty of hate like the gray poor chatters, but I can put my money where my mouth is. There you go, buddy. Thanks, pal. I would go broke at $50 as Blair. I'd go broke. Adventures Duncan Stinky is in. Bill, sup, Clay? How's it doing? How you doing, man? I see non-members all the time. Says DQ. By the way, I think I'm 163rd thumbs up today. Thank you, those of you who have already given me a thumbs up. So if you're letting me know what number you are, I really thank you for that. It helps me keep track of how many thumbs ups this show is receiving. Thank you, all of you, for hitting that thumbs up button. Beach Boy, hey, Auntie, nice to have you back here. The True Repairman, welcome, Clay. What's cooking, Wendy, 165. Bobby, hey, DQ. Jennifer, I'm 165. People are guessing what number they are. It's all cool. Bill is saying, is clapping for DQ. Duncan, number 9 today. Testy Donkey. I heard Uncle Bruce shorted 20% of SoFi. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Adventures with Duncan, also number 17 too. Tiff, I was number 3 this morning. I hit that thumbs up button as soon as I got here. I nailed that baby. I'm there. Thank you all so much for being part of the show. 190 thumbs ups are in the house already here. We thank you, Jennifer and I, so much for that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends. But don't try to explain how options work. So many of you out there try to tell a relative or a friend of yours. They ask you, how do you make money in the market? You're telling me you're making money in the market. How are you doing it? No, I write stock options. How does that work? 5 minutes later, not even that, 30 seconds into your explanation, they've got that glassy look on their face. They're sorry they asked because they have no idea how it works. All of you had to learn how this works. You all had to learn how options functioned. You all made the investment of your time to give it a shot. You listened to the old man talk for a day or two and you realized, oh, I get it now. I see that's what they're doing. I didn't know you could do that. Since when could average investors with $2,000 worth of money, $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, when did that happen that with only a couple of grand in your pocket, you can buy an in-the-money call on Hewlett-Packard for like $1,400 and write an option against it and bring in money every month? When did this happen? Oh, since 1979, 1980, 1983, and before. You just had to know a broker back then that was into the options market. Good luck finding one in 1980 that could do that, because there were very few around that knew how to do that. Mirko, I'm 175. Nicholas, I'm 185. Duncan, I'm number 13. Scott, Gold Bagel Trust is going to have to register with the UBI. Splair, Uncle Bruce, did you short after every buy I did in SoFi? Bobby, do you like math? If so, I have an option for you. Tiff, I never get a lower number than 3. Duncan, also I'm 169. Splair, if so, I hope you run with us now to number 14. Those of you who have learned how to write options, you've brought in a new income source into your life. Now, I know for some of you, whatever money you bring in on the market from the market just goes back into your account and you just keep playing with it. Fair enough. But there are a number of you out there in the last 3 to 6 months, even longer than that now, some 9 months, where you figured out very quickly that the kind of income you can bring in from option writing is so significant. You had no idea. You had no clue it would be, but it has become so significant that it has changed your entire household. And there are viewers on this channel who don't work anymore, who do not have day jobs anymore, or who have, between husband and wife, have made major changes to the work-life balance because of this community, this channel. And I couldn't be more proud of that. I mean, that is the ultimate compliment to this channel's existence, that people have told me out and out through one-on-one sessions or by email or here on this, right over here on these comments. Let's see if I can get that to work. Yeah, there. These comments, they've said to me, we used to have, my wife and I each had a full-time job, and we each had a part-time job. And once we started writing options, we both quit our part-time jobs. And then a few months later, one of us quit our full-time job. And now both of us have quit our full-time jobs, or we only have part-time jobs. We've quit both our full-time jobs and kept only our part-time, because our part-time jobs are our social interaction jobs. We have more friends at work than actually working. We're working, but we're not really working. This is where we have our human connections with other friends and people with like interests. Others of you have said, hey man, I have walked away from that organization completely. Others of you have said to me, I have walked away from my job. I've hired myself out to my former employers, but only on a contract basis, and I only give them 20 hours a week. I now work full-time managing my own assets, option writer, and I work part-time as a consultant, and I charge double per hour than I used to get paid as a full-time employee. And so I make just as much money working for my former employer as I used to, but I only work half the time. And I make extra money doing this option writing. And my life is completely turned over. And I'm getting ready to travel because I know I can travel anywhere in the world and take my phone with me and trade, continue to trade. And so wherever I am physically, I am doing my option writing work. It doesn't matter that I don't have to be at home to do it. And so this is exciting stuff. I just love this. This is so, oh man, it's so inspiring. Anyway, there you have it. There you have it. Thank you all. Zed, I'm number 170, Bruce. Let's go. What else is happening here? Let's go. I swear I'm working, says Bobby. I just hope my comments are pushing SoFly. I just want SoFly to go up. Well, right now, let's take a look at this market. Now that we're trading here a little bit, we're into the market 16 minutes now. We have markets generally higher this morning. We've got the Dow ahead right now. This morning looks like 188 points higher. We've got, let's take a look at this little refresh button up there. If we can do that with my big ass iPad. There we go. We got the Dow up 188. We have S&P up 14. We got NASDAQ down 2 points. Oil down 380 a barrel right now, which is good for the markets like that. Twitter at 47.27 down 118. Sextera down 6 cents to 13.02. But Rocket Lab 809 up 11 cents. SoFi at 718 up a nickel. High of the day 724 on 3.6 million traded. So we're up a little at the moment. GameStop 141.62 up 16 cents this morning. Volume now in 17 minutes. 190,000 shares. Another typical quiet opening. The low today 140. The high today 143.08. We're at 141.62, up 16 cents, right around break even. Other stocks to follow that we're watching here. AMC down 27 cents to 17.21. Matterport up 7 to 6.72. I got 23andMe at 3.27 a share, down a nickel. Spire is at 174.5, down a half a penny. Haycroft Mining, which is that mining company that AMC invested into, down another 7.6 cents at 174.4 cents now. That was 345, 330 at its high about 3 weeks ago. That was trading at one time 350 million a day of volume. In the first hour, it would trade 60, 70 million. Volume right now in 17 minutes, 4 million shares on Hycroft. So that one is over. It's gone dead quiet again. ATIP down 2.5 cents at 169.5. Smart Rent down 7.5 cents to 489.5. Pfizer right now $50.90, down 99 cents. 50.86 now. I see it. Hewlett Packard 38.34, down 8 cents. Under $38 is a steal of a deal. Robinhood hanging on to $11 as best they can. They're 11.10, up 11 cents. They broke 11 yesterday. Vanik Vectors, SMH, Vanik Semiconductors, the ETF, down 44 cents to 241, representing 60 of the largest semiconductor manufacturers on the planet. And these guys have been under pressure. The high in the last 52 weeks, $318. The low, $222, trading at $241. So you can tell that even the computer chip makers, which are under pressure to deliver any computer chip you can, the back orders are miles high. Even that issue is down. And I find that laughable because I think the next 2 years for the semiconductors are going to be fantastic. But the Vanik Vectors fund reflects the value of the shares right now of the top 60. And we're at 241. It's low. So that's an opportunity. There's opportunities on this Vanik Vectors where if you want to be an option writer on this thing, you could buy in the money call options on Vanik. You could perhaps buy 200s, 210s, running about, maybe they'll run $4,000 or $5,000, depending on how much premium they have. Hopefully you can get them with a very small premium out to next year and then write short-term calls against that that stock right now and bring in income. Check out my classes on how to do that. Home Depot up $2.92, IBM up $1.10, Microsoft up 46 cents, Apple down 45 cents, Goldman up $3.12 to $333. If this thing can reach $335, $340 range, you can write options at $340 for this Friday, or maybe $342s to $345s for next Friday. Bring in some premium, stay ahead of the market. Cisco 51.20 up 9 cents. Facebook down 18 cents. Make it down 28 cents to 210.49. Amazon is up 3.26. Tesla up $4 to 1,008. Google up $12 to 25.71. Bed Bath Beyond down 6 cents. BlackBerry down 3. Royal Caribbean up $1.25 to 82.57. Target up $4.50 a share. JP Morgan up $1.20 now to 129.66. JP Morgan came out with their bank earnings last week. They were the first to report. The day before they talked, before the reports came out, they were in that 134, 135 range. And the week prior to that, they were at 136 neighborhood. A week or two before that, they were at 141, 142. The stock cratered all the way down to 125. It's now 129. So it's come back $4 so far. It will continue to come back into the 140 level over the next month or so. Slow but sure, it will recover. I don't fear a sudden massive run, but I see a slow improvement on that one. That is where you can buy in the money calls on that stock. You can buy 100s or 110s, and you can write calls against that. Maybe 132s for next week, the week after, 133s, 34s, 35s for 3-4 weeks out. Bring in some premium money. Stay ahead of the stock and write out of the money calls. Make money. Costco up $6. Walmart up $1.20. Nvidia down $3.48. American Airlines up 38 cents to $18.92. Netflix up 62 cents. Moderna down $5.35 a share. The Dow right now up 214 points. The high was as high as 250 or so, roughly, maybe a little better than that. So it's having an okay start. Twitter down 87 cents as we watch the jockeying for position going on. Twitter is a takeover target. It's in play. The rumors are everywhere that Morgan Stanley has inquiries as to how it could be taken over as an advisory service. Apollo Management, a huge hedge fund, they're looking at this thing. Elon Musk is looking at it. There's talk that Elon and Apollo might team up to buy it. There's all kinds of rumors, speculation. We'll see what's going on. Rocket Lab 813 up 15, SoFi up 14 cents to 728, and GameStop up 226 to 143.72. If GameStop wants to run to the 146, 148 level to kind of push 150 around, write 150s, 155s for next week, the week after, or the week after, and score the biggest premium you can get as the shares fluctuate, probably between 130 and 150 for a while. That could be the situation for us at the moment. Anyway, there you go. What else is going on here? Let's go. Justin wants to know how options work regarding taxation. That is a question I don't answer because I'm not a tax expert. But if I recall, I believe it is a capital gain such a situation. And you're going to need to know your state tax rules and your federal tax rules, depending on what country you live in, US, Canada, Britain, Germany. You're going to have to talk to a tax expert. You might be able to find a lot of this info by doing Google searches, because there are accounting firms that specialize in this area, but I'm not your guy in that area. All right. I'll help you. I'll try to help you make the money, but how you handle the taxes, I'm not your guy to handle that. I'm not your man for that. Okay. What else is going on here? Yeah, Bobby says it's called capital gains, Justin. I personally had an accountant do it for me this year. DQ says, Justin, in the U.S., the gains you lock after buying back are short-term capital gains. And Bobby says, and you need to enter every trade you did in the year for your taxes. Again, an accountant takes my raw data for that stuff. There you go. I'm going to be off tomorrow, says Duncan. Duncan, you take care, buddy. Always good to have you, though. Do you need to have margin account for poor man covered calls? Probably you would. You probably would need that. I do. Woody says Bobby. Woody, typically yes. Poor man covered calls, also called a debit spread. I need one too. I need one too. Wooly says Tip. I see, says Wooly. Okay. Boring IBM comes out of their earnings today with their earnings. Mama Babe says, I'm ahead of you, Uncle Bruce. I wrote 2 weeks out, 340s on Goldman Sachs. There you go, Mama Babe. She is on top of this market. DQ, it's spelled YBM, Mama Babe. YBM. She loves that. Clay, option writing is income, so it'll be put in short-term capital gains. I owed money for last year's filings. Vilbus, I used H&R Block, and it was able to pull my documents from TD Ameritrade. Only had to correct some dates on short-term trades. How about that? It can be done. It is easily done. And there you go. It is a capital gain situation. And some of you, depending on where you live, you have capital gain exemptions. You have reduced taxes on capital gains. Again, that is where your advisor will help you file correctly. If you are a full-time trader and you're trading in your own name, well, then you're going to be dealing with taxes from your own name. But if you are a full-time trader inside a corporate entity you've created, an S Corp or limited LLC, whatever, there might be advantages for you for that. You need a tax specialist to help you set up the structure you need to do what you want to do. But it could be that you're able to write off expenses for your limited corporation or your S Corp, like all your internet fees, like a part of your mortgage, because you have an office in your house or apartment or condo. You might be able to write off some of your personal property taxes. You might be able to write off some of your other expenses. Again, you need to talk to a professional whose job it is to handle the IRS. And you need a specialist in your state where you live to help you with the right structure there, speaking for Americans. All right. There you go. DQ wants to know from Bama Babe, are you writing Goldman Sachs poor man covered calls, or are you writing on your stock? Vilbus, it was easy, and I was definitely going to have to pay in on it, but I used the magic of Schedule C thanks to my vintage side hustle to bring that total down considerably. There you go. It can pay to have a corporation, okay? Vilbus, okay, I'm officially out of my dumb TWTR play, ready to buy back into GameStop. I should have done so yesterday when I hit 138. We're at now the Dow 259 on the upside, 259 higher. We're up 30 on S&P. We're up 80 on NASDAQ. We've got a gain going this morning on this market. The GameStop shares are showing a 143.19 last trade, up 173. We really aren't going anywhere in a hurry. The high of the day, 144.33 for a moment. But look, the GameStop wants to go higher. It'll offer some of you an opportunity to write call options. That's what you want to do as it runs higher. But don't be surprised if they can reach 148, 150. Later today, they could be back to 138, 140. And there might be a trade there just today on writing call options on GameStop. Keep your eye on that. Okay. Bama Babe says, DQ, I write on my stocks that I hold in my IRA. There you go. Bradley, good afternoon, simpletons. Bama Babe, DQ, I do not have to worry about taxes doing it this way. And there's other sound advice right there. Again, you've got to check with your tax professional how the best way is to write call options, depending on where your shares are that you own on options you want to write. And I keep bringing it to the front of the discussion here. If you're going to watch my classes, you're going to quickly figure out, oh my God, I can write options on what I already have. I can't believe I haven't been doing this for the last 20 bloody years. Why haven't I been writing options on all the stock I've been holding? I've been buying shares in the company that I work for, and they've been matching my dough and all this. And after so many months or years, all the shares I've acquired I can do whatever I want with them. And for some of you, you have them inside an IRA You have them inside a 401k, you have them in whatever. You can write options against these shares to bring in income, to add to your retirement, to whatever it is you need. And I tell you, for some of you, you may find that with the right advice, you may find that the best move you can make is to transfer shares from your personal holdings into a corporation and write options inside that for tax reasons, corporate tax reasons, all the write-offs you're entitled to. Some of you have an asset like you might have, say, ETFs or mutual funds that you've had for years and years and years. And in some cases, you can write options on ETFs you own and bring added income from those. Some of you have assets that you'll sell, take a loss or take a gain or whatever you're doing, move into an asset that you can write options on. Like you might buy Apple stock, you might buy Microsoft stock, you might buy Cisco. And now you're going to write options on those shares inside a 401k or whatever. And still many others of you are finding that you've got this equity built up in your house. Your house is worth $700,000. You paid $200 for it years ago. You owe $50 on it. You can borrow $200,000 on your house like that, and you can put that money to work inside a corporation you're creating to then write options on inside the corporation. And you have all those corporate write-offs, and you are in effect lending the company money, which is what you're doing. You're borrowing money to lend it to a corporate entity you control, and it now pays you interest, and it pays you a payment every month. It might pay you $2,000 a month in some kind of a repayment schedule that you're passing part of on to your banker to pay off that loan you just took out. There's every conceivable way of utilizing assets you have to generate income to you to possibly get you out of the situation you're stuck in. Some of you hate your jobs. You hate where you live. You want out. You might sell your house. You might lease your house. You might borrow on your house and then lease or rent your house to keep it and utilize the cash flow from that house to pay for the loan you just took out, which now is taking that money has now been put into a corporation, which is now generating revenue to live off of. And you don't live in that house anymore. You don't live in that town anymore. You've moved to where you want to be living. There's a whole domino effect going on here just within this channel. And we are tiny. We are a tiny little YouTube channel with a diehard, deep, hardcore following of viewers that have realized I've really got to check this out. This guy is talking about stuff I never thought of even thinking about, because you're so locked into the world you're at. You've never had anyone tell you, have you thought of getting out? There's ways to get out, you know. Some of you want to go traveling for a year. Some of you want to travel in an RV you've had for years and you've never put any miles on it. Some of you just want to move to a retirement area. Some of you want to move with your wife and children, your husband and your children, just your children, yourself. You want to move to a retirement area where your parents are. You just want to be closer to your mom and dad. And you're moving down to Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, Georgia, South Carolina, wherever, and you're hanging out with them for the winter time or whatever. They live permanently in wherever. You're now living permanently down there. You might just go down there and only rent to start. You just rent for a year to get a taste of it, to get the lay of the land, to understand what the locals are going through here. You might just be a one-year renter only before you put roots in. And then you decide, okay, a year's gone by. I've now decided to buy a place down here, sell my place up there, and officially move out and really come down here now. I'm really moving here. And I've set up an S Corp or an LLC. I'm doing option writing. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm working part-time for so-and-so, or my corporation hired me out to another company for consulting work. You've completely changed everything. And you can do it in a step-by-step basis rather than jump all into the deep end first. Do your homework. That is the other thing about all this, okay? Anyway, thank you all for being here and appreciate you all seeing us and visiting with us, and hopefully it's working out for you. Exciting stuff. And let's see here. DQ says, Bama Babe, right on. I haven't enabled that on my 401k yet. Bobby, I wonder if IRA is the same as TFSA. Again, Canada, you gotta talk to a tax person. It might be as simple as going into an H&R office. These folks are dealing with a zillion scenarios. Yours might not be that complicated. They might be well able to help you. Swinson, I also trade mostly in a Roth. Dave, Mac, I do the same in my RSP TFSA equivalents. Bama Babe DQ, it is easy to do. Bama, Dave the Mac guy, this is the way. Adventures with Duncan, join stock markets with Bruce. Thanks, buddy. Bama Babe, I can not contribute to a 401k anymore because I'm retired. I converted my 401k into an IRA and now earn income inside it without any tax ramifications or affecting my Social Security. Hello. Your daddy, it's awesome actually living what Uncle Bruce is describing. And there you go. Thank you for those kind words. Nelson, good morning, Bagel family. Meetings all morning, but I'm here with you. DQ, Bama Babe is living the dream. Bama says, DQ, I worked in the corporate world for 30 years, so I have paid my dues, but I love being retired. And Mallow Shark, I'm thumbs up number 220. Thank you all so much for being here. Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am busy trying to inform the community here of what the world could be like for them if they want it. You have to want it. There's a lot of people, like anything else, we've known people all our lives who have talked the talk since we were in our 20s and have never walked the walk. You know them, I know them. You see them at dinner time at Thanksgiving or at Christmas or whatever the occasion, or you go to a wedding for somebody and you see the talkers and then you meet the doers, and you'll always notice that the doers in your family never have time to get together with you. They're busy. When you get a chance to do a dinner with someone you really want to hang out with, doers, they are busy people. They have to schedule you into their social life, and they love hanging with you. It's a great time, but boy, do they have to juggle because of how busy they are. They're doers. They're making it happen. They're living the dream, and they're not wishing about the dream. And all of you can be a doer, someone can make it happen, but you got to want it, man. You got to want it. Jen and I want to go to Europe. We want to do this. We're going to make it happen. I don't know how all the little details are working out. Does it matter? No, we'll figure it out, but you got to want it, man. You got to want it. And I want a YouTube channel to do what it's doing. I'm working it. Is this channel perfect? No. But it's here, and I'm working on it. You're here. You're working on it. Man, do I love stories like Bama Babe stories. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it can be for all of you in your own way. Everybody has their own situation. You don't all live where Bama Babe lives, so you have your own tax situations to think about. You don't live in the same country. There are my Canadian followers, my UK followers, my German followers, Netherlands followers, wherever you're from. You have to figure out where you are, what it's going to be. But you're either a talker or you're a doer. Which one are you? Jen, which one are you?
Well, my father raised us that we could do whatever we wanted if you wanted it badly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I always wanted to be the curator of the British Natural History Museum until I found out exactly what you had to do to become the curator. And then somebody had to die. You had to do all that stuff, but then somebody else.
So what Jen is going to do on this trip coming up, she's going to go to that museum and she's going to see how they run that joint.
That's right.
And she's going to have a chat with some people if they don't do it right. So
look at it since the last time we've been there.
Yeah, heads up, you guys. Jen's coming to town. Spiff that place up. Yeah.
So here's my joke for the day.
The joke for the day.
Why are the pyramids in Egypt?
Okay, why?
There's no room in the British Natural History Museum. because just about everything else is in there.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Joke with a bite at the end. Yeah. Oh
That's
my.
right.
Joke with a little bit of a bite. Oh my. Well,
Yes.
there you go.
Repatriate people and things.
And things.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So winter is back today.
Really? No.
Not at this exact moment.
No.
No.
No. No, it's calm right now.
Yeah, wait for it.
Uh-oh. We can't get spring up here. It just doesn't
No.
want to hang around. We get a little taste. We get in the mid 50s and then we go back into the 30s. We just can't break out of this.
It's going to
This
get
funk.
windy and flurry, and some places are expecting 10 to 15 centimeters.
Oh no. Oh no.
That wet
Oh
spring
no.
snow. What
Well-
we call cardiac snow because it's just so heavy.
Well, we're 34 degrees here right now. So
Yeah.
that's, 1 degree Celsius.
It's not going up.
90% chance of snow in the next hour. Chances are good. 60 to 80 to 100% chance of snow all through today,
Yeah.
up until this evening, and then
Nice and windy to go
40%
with
tomorrow, 60% Thursday. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting snow. We need the moisture, true, and
yes, we do.
the mountain areas where all the
But-
forests are, they need moisture for forest
that
fire
wind,
prevention.
It,
But yeah.
it evaporates.
The good news is that on Friday we're at 48 degrees, and then Saturday, Sunday 54, 59 for the high.
See, I don't
Sunny.
Like
So whatever snow we're going to get today, tomorrow, the day after, will melt out of here by Saturday, Sunday. It'll all be blown away, melted off, because the sun is at such an angle now, and with a 59-degree temperature, it'll feel like 69 degrees on your skin.
We all remember those times though when we were working where the week was very pleasant and the weekend was
Crap.
crap.
And it would be so depressing. It would be so depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the Dow, up 361. Go. Yeah, we would
Canadians
get
look
those.
so forward to the May 24th weekend, Victoria Day.
Mhm.
That is the official start of camping.
Yeah, but
And
oh, you take
you
your
only go out
chances.
if you have a heater.
You don't be tenting it. Don't be doing the tent thing. You are going to be
There's a
asking
lot
for
of
it.
us when we camp, we go to the mountains.
Well, yeah.
Don't go to mountains.
Don't be going
Go
to
to the
mountains.
prairies.
Oh my God! Look at SoFi, 740 up 27. Rocket Lab up 17 to 814. Go baby, go! GameStop 143.24 up 178. Nice to have a game.
People are doing a little shopping.
It's nice to see a little pop up here.
When the
We like it.
prices are low, people go shopping.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh!
So there's bagels out there today.
Went out last night. Got me some bagels, and it was close. It was dicey. I went out late last evening because I do all my shows on Monday for both of my channels. I didn't have enough time to get to Costco on time, so had to try our local superstore, which is our big grocery center. I got lucky. I went into the bakery area,
You
and
got lucky last night?
I got lucky because not that lucky, but I got lucky. I went to the bakery area, and all of the bins where you can use the tongs and just pull out buns and stuff, empty, all empty. Now, they could have been empty all day. But behind that section, there's another set of bins behind there. You go walking around,
Oh,
and there are bags of pre-packaged buns and bagels and whatever that they bake on site.
Right.
And wouldn't you know it, I found a
that's
six-pack.
why your first bins were.
I found a six-pack of sesame seed bagels.
Yeah.
I had been to the bagel section where you're buying bagels made at a factory-style bakery. That was in the corner, and they must have had 200 packages of 6 bagels each, and they had the everything bagel. They
yes.
had
Very
the
popular.
they had the whole wheat bagel. They had the raisin bagel. They had the
oh yeah,
but
the
no
blueberry
sesame
and-
seed.
Yeah.
no sesame seeds, none. And I thought, this is so depressing. I was thinking I was going to buy a plain bagel, pack of 6 of those, and I'm just going, this is. But then I walked over to this other section, saw nothing in the bins, went to the back of that section, went, oh, wait a minute, oh,
You were the choir singing.
bingo, found a 6-pack of sesame seeds.
Very
So,
nice.
I'm interested in a fried egg and
Oh.
ham bagel today.
Oh,
No cheese.
he is ready for it
Fried egg and ham dipping in that
with
ketchup.
dipping sauce. Okay.
Dipping in the ketchup. Oh, that's what I'm thinking
Care.
today. Awesome, Jen. Thank you so much. It's been a while since I've done one of these. We're up 337 on the Dow here, holding a good little run at the moment. We're up 0.97 of a percentage point. S&P's up 44, 1%. NASDAQ up 153 points, 1.1%. So they're all consistently good. Oil down $4 a barrel to 103.87 at the moment. We had a good run, as I told you earlier, on oil. We were 93, 95 last week early. We ran up. Now we're giving a little back. That's what's going on there. On the stocks we like to follow at the moment, Twitter down $1.14 to 47.32. Cyxtera, 13.14, up 6 cents. Rocket Lab, 8.14, up 16. We got SoFi at 7.39, up 26 cents. GameStop, 144.30, up $2.84. The higher GameStop wants to go, the better the opportunity to write a call option. AMC, 17.64, up 16 cents. If this thing could break through 18 and you could write a $19 call, great. I don't know if you'll get that chance, though. Matterport, 686 up 21 cents. ME up 3.5 cents to 335.5. Spire up 3.9 cents to 178.9. Hycroft Mining still down 7 cents. ATIP down a half a penny. Been here practically the morning, 171.5. Smart Rent up 7 cents to 504. Pfizer, $50.99. That's going to trade between 50 and 53, looks like for now. It's down 85 cents to 50.99 right now. Hewlett Packard, HPQ, down 14 cents to 38.29. Robinhood, 11.11, up 12 cents. Vanek Vectors up $1.95 to 244.25. Home Depot up 3.26, 303.47. IBM up $1.36 to 127.50. Microsoft up 3.36 to 283.88. That hits 285.90, right to 290s. Apple, 166.22, up $1.15. That wants to go to 168, right 170s. Big time the next 2 to 3 weeks out. Take big premiums if you can on Apple 170s. Goldman, 332.72, up 284. That's got to reach 335, so you can write 340s. Cisco, 51.50, up 40 cents. You can look at writing 53s for 2 or 3 weeks out. Facebook, 213.98, up 321. You can look at writing 215s to 220s. Amazon at $3,099, up $44. Tesla up to $1,019, up $15. Google, $25.90, up $31 a share. Those are all going to split. The Amazon, the Google 20 to 1, Tesla, the rumor is maybe 5 to 10 to 1. We'll see about that. Bed Bath Beyond up 39 cents to 17.32. I just don't know when the upside will come, because now Bed Bath Beyond is probably going to get as quiet as GameStop, and I'm not sure if how this is going to play out. BlackBerry up 9 cents to 6.60. Royal Caribbean up 2.15 to 83.48. Target up $4. JP Morgan up 155 to $130 a share again. Costco up $8 to $5.90. Walmart up $1 to $156.93. Over on Nvidia, we're up 245 to $220. We've got, hang on here, let's see what else is going on here. American Airlines up 61 cents to 19.15. And Moderna down 5.25 to 149.50. Unbelievably cheap on Moderna. So people actually seem to think that the COVID is over and that pharmaceuticals will not make money anymore. So wrong. So wrong. The pharmaceuticals now have a new steady stream of income forever. COVID vaccines, like flu vaccines. There will be a percentage of the population that every year will get the vaccine shot. And it's just cash money to these companies, because as you develop the drug into the second and third and fourth years, the cost to produce the drug drops. It's all profit. The payoff has come and will continue to come. But, it is what it is. The market is what it is. And there you have it. Right now, the Dow is up 306 points today. The high of this Dow Jones market has been 34,785. It's now 34,722. So we're 63 points away from the high of the day. In the last week, we need to run up another, 34,800, another couple hundred points, and we will outdo the high of last week. That's not saying a lot. To outdo the high of the last month, the Dow needs to reach 35,300. So it has to go up about 600 points from here. And that would be the highest level in a month for the Dow. For the last 3 months, though, back to February, that market was 35,700, almost 800, 35,800. That's 1,000 points away to break the 3-month barrier. So I don't see that. I see more resistance. Great to see it up 300 points. I don't know if it'll hold it. I don't know if it can hold it. And I don't know if it can add to it because earnings will come out tonight, tomorrow, and the day after, and warnings will likely follow. And that's what worries me about the true upward reach of these indexes. We may find investors going, yeah, the numbers were great last month, but they're not going to be that great next month. And that's where selling comes in. So these markets are perfect for option writers. If you're an option writer, this is heaven on a stick right here. GameStop, 145.61. If that wants to hit 147, 148, you can write 150s for this Friday, next Friday, the Friday after, Bring in some big premiums on 150s and let them depreciate into your pocket. Thank you very much, Bobby. Good morning, Auntie Jen. DQ, I hear you, Mama Babe. I'm 25 plus years into this. Adventure with Duncan. Good morning, Shark. I'm Duncan. Nice to meet you. Good morning, Jen from Duncan. I'm your daddy, says, thanks again, Uncle Bruce. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without the confidence inspired by your sharing a lifetime of knowledge. Right on, kids. Splair, good morning, Jen. John Anderson, hello, everybody. Bobby, probably a little laughing out loud. Bama Babe, yes, I have been chastised by my family in the day for not having enough time to vacate with them, vacation, but they were the first to ask for financial help from me. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Credit Savage, good morning, my fellow doers and intellectuals. Are SoFi and Matterport green today? Well, howdy doody. Bobby, a double-digit green day today. Nicholas, I think SoFi's a little oversold. NASDAQ inches up and SoFi starts running. Clay, I always love how much more positive the chat gets when it's members only. It's really tiring reading people whining about stocks going down and Biden being bad. I mean, everybody wants to blame somebody else instead of looking in the mirror and changing your life. Stop whining about the world you're in and change your world. Man, I'm amazed by it. It blows my mind that Canadians and Americans and others, they say, oh, we're in the greatest country in the world, but I hate the world I'm in. Well, maybe because you're in the greatest country in the world, you can change your life. Get off your fat butt and do something about it. People here on this channel are doing it. Why can't you? I don't understand it. Bobby, gotta Google how to cook crow for Matt this afternoon. Jen's dream is still alive. There you go. Heading to the British Museum. Oh, we're going to have fun over there. We're looking forward to this. Let's go here. Bama Babe, Credit Savage is saying, isn't it hilarious how you are the pariah until it hits the fan and then family members are always reaching out when they need money? Sad, really, isn't it? Bobby, my only complaint about Uncle Bruce is the amount of snow he sent to Ontario. DQ 36F Fahrenheit and snowing in Pittsburgh. John, snowed here in Michigan as well. John Bickman yesterday. 85 on Saturday in Pennsylvania, sleeping, and 38 yesterday. Oh, man. Yuck is what we're saying all about that. All right. Oh my gosh. Sleeting, says Smoke Dog. It is sleeting now. The Credit Savage, I've been watching some of your videos from last May, June. And I look at the group and questions we asked then compared to now. And it's crazy to see how much we've learned. Thanks, old man. You are the best. Yeah, you guys want to know, where you're at? Sometimes you got to look where you've been. And sometimes you kind of look back and go, like Credit Savage says, what kind of questions were you asking me back in May and June? And look at a live show today. The questions and answers are completely different. Now, back in April, May, and June, I had a lot more viewers on this channel. But you'll see the kind of questions that the viewers were asking me. And you'll find out very quickly, oh my God, this guy had all kinds of viewers that were looking for the home run ball. They were looking for the one trade that would change their lives rather than systematically putting a plan together that covered every aspect of your life. I mean, what I find amazing is I'll talk to somebody about, might be a friend of mine or a relative of mine, maybe a relative I haven't seen in a while, and they'll ask me about changing their lives. And I'll say, well, you could always move to so-and-so, a place that you've always talked about going to. Of course, you're going to have to, you're going to have to call your power company in your hometown and say goodbye to your power company. And then when you get to the new town, you're going to set up your power account, for electricity there. And you got to move your internet provider, to whoever is at the new. And they just go, oh God, I hadn't thought of all that. Oh, that's just so intense. And I'm just going, what are you talking about? You want to change your life. You got to change every aspect of your life. Like, what's your new grocery store? Where's your nearest McDonald's? Where's your new Costco? That means everything. Yeah, it's amazing how people don't do it. Thank you, Jen, so much for this. Fabulous. Got some ketchup here to dip here. I got the bagel. Look at that. The bagel with the ham and the egg in there. Just stuff it out of it. Just stick it out the side. It looked a lot better
until I just, cut it by pushing down on it.
Oh my God. It is just blown over. Look at that. Oh my God. Here's a really neat comment. I just read this comment. Okay. It says, Uncle Bruce, I've been watching some of your videos from last May and June, and I look at the group and questions we asked then compared to now, and it's crazy.
I know. They've learned so much.
Yeah.
They've learned so much.
Jen and I talk about this all the time. We're talking about this all the time.
See, it wasn't rocket science.
How it evolves.
You just need to know the basics and start with a few words, and before you know it, you're wanting to write an option.
May and June last year, I hadn't done a class yet. I hadn't made a single class. I started making classes in July, and I warned you guys for 2 months. Classes were coming. Classes are coming. Classes are coming. And then I launched them starting in July into August and September. Now there are 12 classes that you can watch anytime you want. You want to change your life? Start there. I mean, you don't have to upend everything today.
I would hope they didn't do it all in one day.
No, changing your life means putting a plan together. And you got to figure out whether a change of life is really in your best interest and whether you're capable of mentally handling it.
1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
Or, start with taking the classes, beginning to learn how to write options, getting better at it, and then making the changes.
Put your toe in the water. And
baby changes, just baby changes, little. You might change your life completely in the next 12 months. 1/12 every month is the change rate. Just 1/12 of your life is being changed. The big one is in the last couple of months where you might leave town, leave state, move into another country, travel full time.
Live in a van down by the river.
Becoming.
Except that river might be the River Seine.
That's right. Maybe you're living in a van by the river near Paris. Have you thought of that? Wow.
It's Chris Farley, not really.
Yeah,
Chris
really.
Farley.
Sextel, Uncle Bruce, how are you going overseas without us? I'm taking you with me. I don't understand where you guys don't get this. Okay, I'm going to be live from over there. So will Jen. You'll still see this hand over there tormenting me to no end. Don't worry. Thank you, Miss Jen, so much. This is fantastic. I got me a bagel here ready to go. Ham and egg bagel. Oh, my. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. So good. Brent, don't you have bagel shops or coffee shops that sell day-old bagels? I got a half dozen of day-olds from a sandwich shop. They're $2 in Colorado. God bless you. In the area that I'm in right now, in this part of Calgary, this was open prairie 35, 40 years ago. There was nothing here. There was a 2-lane road that ran down here. That is now a 4-lane expressway, part of a ring road with flyover intersections, subdivisions all over the place here, which means that this has been a planned community. I'm 20 miles away from downtown Calgary. That's how far south we are. And I'm still in the city, 20 miles from downtown. All around here is everything is planned out. And so there is no mom and pop coffee shop anywhere around here. They're all franchises. There are no mom and pop convenience stores. They're all franchises. There are no importer type food places. They're all chain grocery stores. Everything here is mega corporate everything. It's corporate Canada, corporate America. No room for mom and pops around here for anything. The rents are out of line. The city taxes are insanity. No entrepreneur can survive. So a bagel shop around here, not a chance. I have to buy bagels from a big fat grocery store. And I got to take my chances. Unless I go to Costco, where I can buy bagels that are made that day. They're baking them every night. I can get fresh bagels at Costco. And they're always available, generally speaking. But the so-called mom and pop stuff, that doesn't exist in planned communities. The only place, Brent, that I can buy a coffee from a mom and pop coffee place is in town, deep in town Calgary, where you pay $2 to park for the first 20 minutes for your car, where the cops are waiting with speed traps all over the place to nail you. They need money. They need money for downtown Calgary. Out here, the taxes are so good from subdivisions like this and the retail strip malls we have here. These subdivisions pay for themselves. Downtown Calgary is old school Calgary, just like downtown any place. You go to downtown Denver, go to downtown Dallas, go to downtown Oklahoma City, you're talking Deadsville. You're talking an area you wouldn't be caught dead at if you went with your kids. You wouldn't go down with your kids. Same thing with Calgary. Downtown is vibrant in a way, but it's a corporate vibrancy, and it's incredibly expensive to be there, and very few mom and pops can make it. You just cannot make it. You have to have the national advertising budget from head office to promote your wares. And the power of volume purchasing. There it is. Also, remember, you buy 6 bagels for $2, you're not making them any money. You're just giving them back the $2 they spent to make those bagels. You're happy. You're spending $2. They're going broke. You're not keeping them in business. If they disappear in the next year or so, don't be surprised, because you're not making them money. Unless, of course, you buy other goods and services from them, and hopefully you are, and God bless you for it. Okay? It's all right. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I bought a plain bagel and a jar of sesame seeds. I take a bite of bagel. I take a shot of seeds. How about that? Bill, fried egg and ham. We're going to the moon, baby. ME is actually green for once. Oh my gosh, Smoke Dog, can you believe it? We're at 397-point gain on the Dow. Twitter down $1.30. Cyxtera up 3 cents. Rocket Lab up 16. SoFi up 23. GameStop 145.52 up $4. AMC up 37 cents. Matterport up a quarter. ME up a nickel. Spire up 4.4 cents. ATIP up 1.5 cents. Smart Rent up 14 cents. We got a green day on a lot of different stocks we're following. Can you believe it? It only took 400 Dow points. Problem is, I don't know how long it's going to last. Credits average, the best way to gauge how much we've learned is to look at the past. And although you don't see it day to day, if you go back 8 months or more, you see how far you are now. The beauty of re-watching these videos. Smoke Dog is going, yay, my stocks are up. Bobby, that's true. I find it hard to think of a new question until an issue pops up in the chat. Learning from all angles. Robert Benson, Bruce, I'm number 2, 3, 4 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you very much. Bobby, poor little HIP keeps trying for a green candle. Bobby, a new flu shot. The Credit Savage, what's going to get the 15th COVID shot? I'm at 3. Nazareth 235. Credit Savage, SoFi is up almost 5%. It's so cute. Wait till earnings May 10th. They're going to blow every metric out of the water. 99 Nation, true. I'm a babe. Vacate, slang for vacation or leisure time spent. Credit Savage, the RSI on SoFi shows it's way oversold. I bought back all my SoFi and Matterport covered calls. Uncle Bruce, please make these stocks go to 20 bucks now. Nazareth, if you think we're simpletons, oh man, let me introduce you to me a year ago. Oh, what a difference. 99 Nation, all green market turned these kids into craven profiteers. They have to talk like they're at an auction to sound interesting on their channels. Cam, good morning. I'm number 242. Would have been here sooner, but just spent the last hour watching the first hour of yesterday's show by mistake. Duh. Bradley, I'm so hungry, Bruce, trying to cut down the thing, and that looks so good. You're a lucky man. Cindy, wish I could have got sold cheap leap options instead of bought options on those SPACs. Would have made so much money. Jennifer Smith, I've held on to my notebooks from the classes. I flip through from time to time, see how much I've learned. Super cool to have these as souvenirs. There you go. There you go. Good morning, Alberta. How's your morning going? Stephen Jackson. Bobby, I got $54 for 1750 strike next Friday. DKNG. Oh my gosh. Bobby, nice. It's popping. I am your daddy today. Officially marks the day I quit my day job to trade covered calls. Congratulations, GM Savage. Good morning, Savage. Credit Savage. Good morning, my friend. Bobby, my right went up $30 today with this pop. Shrinkage is in my favor still. Duncan, good morning. John, 99 Nation, happy anniversary, Daddy. Credit Savage, I'm your daddy. I made the same decision thanks to Uncle Bruce. I've been at home raising my 3 young children, and it's amazing. Challenging, but amazing. And wouldn't be possible without Uncle Bruce and the classes. Nicholas, SoFi is nearly guaranteed a revenue beat at earnings since they readjusted. Mama Babe, Cindy B, I look at what ifs as a learning experience. Then I just move forward trying to do better. 99 Nation, that's awesome, Savage. We all need these days. There you go, kids. We're up 363 points on the Dow. Uncle Bruce is trying to eat his bagel while it's falling apart on him. It's not easy, you know. Oh, my. Oh, boy. So good. Ham and egg on a bagel. It's not that easy. So good. GQ saying to the Credit Savage, I gotta say, your oldest looks like a real witch there. There you go. We're up 358 on the Dow, and we're at 145.92 on GameStop. We're up $4.35 right now. We are near the high of the day right at this point. High of the day, 146.57. So doing okay. I am your daddy says the real sense of freedom I feel now is just incredible. And it really is something, kids. It really is. You're no longer tied to that clock anymore and those shifts. No more at work propaganda. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. This is so tasty. It's not easy to eat this. It falls apart, but oh, man. 146 on GameStop. 146. Okay. Oh my, SoFi 742 up 28. Let's go. Mm. Oh boy, so good. Mm, 146.81. GameStop, new high. 147.29. GameStop up 580. Good. Option writers, keep your eye on that stock. You might be writing options today. We'll see what it wants to do. 147.12, 147.14 on GameStop right now. Okay? Okay. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm. I'm working my way through this bagel. Oh man, this is so good. Jen outdid herself today. Mm. 147.41, new high on GameStop right now. 147.41 is the new high. I guess the bagel is working today, isn't it? Making the stock go up. Looks like we touched 147.45 today. Volume, GameStop, 626,000 shares. That's not good. That is not good. It's nice to see it up, but it's just a dead cat bounce. That's what I worry about. Mm. AMC 1814. But only 8.5 million volume. Oh yeah. Mm. 147.55. GameStop going higher. 147.60, the high trade. Okay. Oh my, this is something. Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm. Oh boy. Oh boy. Beautiful. 146.78 new high on GameStop. The higher it goes, 146, 147, 148, you're putting $150 call options into play. You might be able to write 150s for a real nice premium, whether it's for this Friday, next week, the week after. The fatter the premium you can get, the better the move is, okay? Keep an eye open for that opportunity. Take as big a premium as you can get your hands on. Even if you have to give up a week or two of time, take the premium. Let's see here. 150s. Now, I am looking at quotes that are 15 minutes old, so I'm behind the times, but a 150 that dies this Friday, I saw a 385 trade go through. I'm sure it's over 4 by now. A contract for next week, the 29th, a 150 right now is going for, I bet you, over 7.5, maybe closer to $8 right now. And then a contract expiring in May. Let's see here. May the 6th. Definitely over 10, might be over 11 now. So there might be a window for you to look at. Writing a call at 11.5. That is still out of the money by $2.30 a share. That's like taking 161 on the stock. So, writing a call up there, if you can write a call, might be the one to look at. Put a stink offer in there at 11.85, 12.45, whatever the market is, add about maybe $1 to the contract. If you get a little spike up, maybe you'll get a hit. You just never know. 147.80 on GameStop. The volume of 669,000. There's no volume here. The high of the day, 147.82. We're there. We're at 147.80 right now. If this thing wants to pop to 149, you might get a 150 off for as much as $12.50 on some of these calls for a few weeks out. We might as well call you daddy now, says 99 Nations. Tip, I have a theory that Credit Savage changed his profile picture to the picture of his kid so he gets reminded that he's supposed to watch him every time he writes a message here. Is anyone thinking SoFi goes higher today, asks Blair. Credit Savage loving this. Bobby, doesn't the big kid one watch the smaller ones? Isn't that supposed to be how that's supposed to work? BW, NASDAQ still down 16% on the year. When's the bleeding going to end, Uncle Bruce? It's like 2021 tax law selling never ended, and it looks like we'll be down here through the end of the year and beyond. It's going to take war ending, prayerful. BW, I think the markets are flat for the foreseeable future. We'll be up and down, but I don't see a massive, run up, sustained run up month after month. No way are we going to get new highs. I don't think so. We have too many warnings to come out right now. Too many earnings warnings have yet to be issued. Up 416 on the Dow, which is an okay day for now. We'll take that gain. Thank you. We're watching. There we go. We're watching these markets here. We've got S&P up 58. We got NASDAQ up 228. So NASDAQ is up 1.7%. S&P up 1.3, and the Dow up 1.2. It is a across the board good day after the long weekend. No massive disasters seem to have appeared out of nowhere, but the China story is being underreported, and that is the nemesis of this market right now. China's performance is going to be a problem. It's going to catch up with our markets. Just saying. Okay, continuing on. 147.40 on GameStop. The high today, 147.82. What does it mean, AB, when Spire goes up 3% on the volume of 75,000 shares? Anything at all? Is a paper already bought? It just shows how thinly traded the stock really is. Down here, everybody that wanted out got out. ages ago on Spire. They got out at 3. They got out at 250. There were a few false runs. They got out. This stock now, a million share day of buying into Spire, you're back to $3 a share. I mean, you're just back to 3. You give me a million shares of buying over 5 days, 200,000 a day for 5 days, we're 3 bit. It'll just clean this all out. It wouldn't take much. Here I am cooking bagel, says 99. I'm your daddy. Damn it. Gonna need to roll these 140s eventually. Karim, where is that troll from yesterday? He's missing the best part of the show. Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel. The man is in the house. When will my Sextera go to the moon, Bruce? Inquiring minds need to know. That's a good question, my friend. Sextera, of course, is a company that is theoretically putting itself up for sale. And I think that they are in deep discussions with Wall Street analysts who are in deep discussions with possible buyers for the company. But when a deal goes down, I can't say, but when it does go down, it'll be a pre-negotiated, agreed to offer that the board will accept upfront. So is it a $15 cash buyout? Is it a $18 cash buyout? Is it a $20 deal, half cash, half stock with another existing public company? Is it an all stock deal? In other words, will Sextera shareholders become shareholders of another company that is much larger? That could be it. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But Kirk, I can assure you that deep level discussions have been ongoing for a while and will continue for a while longer, except for the one warning I'll give you. The stock could be halted tomorrow morning. And in the first hour, the company could make an announcement. We've made a deal. It could be a week from now. It could be a month from now. When it happens, it happens. But the stock is holding this $13 level, as many SPACs can't hold their $10 level at all. This is holding 13. The all-time high on Sextera, keep in mind, everyone, 1364. You want a stock that is near its all-time highs? This is it. The Dow Jones, the S&P, and the NASDAQ, all those indices wish they were where Sextera is in relation to their all-time high, to be that close. They aren't. Sextera is. That is why I can tell you there's a deal in the works for Sextera, because that stock won't back off. There isn't much downside to this. So, Kurt, hang in there, my man. Hang in. Speared, don't think it'll pop too much myself. They're in an aggressive hawk mode right now, says 99 Nations. Splair, he's saying, Swinson Terry, might be option writing day on Apple today too. There you go. It might be. Selling into strength. Where is Apple right now? It's 167.08, 168, 169, 170s are the contracts. If you can get big fat premiums on 172s, great. Go a month out, write 172s, but right out of the money on Apple and take premiums and go out a bit and take some fat premiums. 334.84 on Goldman, 340s, 345s of those options. Microsoft up 350 at 284. 290s would be nice to write if you can get a premium on them. Hopefully the stock will give you a little more. IBM up 133 to 127.5. Cisco up 40 cents to 51.51. We got some upward movement here and there. Watching for it, looking for it, trying to write options. 373 gain on the Dow, 54 on S&P, 216 on the NASDAQ. Bill, woohoo, go GameStop, 147.44 up 5.98. Bilbus, I was ready to buy back into GameStop. Then it went on this run. Going to have to wait until we get back under 145. Could be later today. Just wait around. Spare, thanks for your insight, 99. I think it won't move much today as well. 99. I really heard the what is it, mooing of a dead cat earlier. I don't know what that means. Vilbas, this is buying back in after it exercised on a 150 about a month ago. Peculiar, says 99. Blair, then tomorrow probably a bit of consolidation. We shall see. How was the bagel, Uncle Bruce? It was good stuff. Tip, I do not want to jinx it, but if yesterday was SoFi all-time low ever, I bought 100 shares, 1 cent above it. This could be the story to tell for all ages. Maybe. 743 up 30. Way to go, you guys. Buy this stuff up. Good morning, everybody. Says Duncan. 99 Nation. I think SoFi has too much coiled spring to go to 6. Let's see. What else is going on here? Splair is saying zit, zit, zit. 4-cent move on SoFi in 1 second, says Splair. The fun thing is, says Tiff, I only put in a stink bid at 698 because I did not have enough dough to buy it any higher, so I put it in at 698. Got hit. What about that? Let's see. DQ, I have a 150 expiring this Friday that I wrote about a month ago for 1840. Close that out now to kick it out a few weeks or keep it to collect the rest of the shrinkage. Yeah, there's always that. You can always roll up and further out for more money. What's wrong with that? Nothing. There will be catalysts out there. We all have to be in the lookout. Circular economies are being carved into place. New supply chains are in demand, more so than ever. All right. Yeah, DQ is wondering, now that it's running up, maybe I want to roll up into a month from now or 3 weeks from now, roll into 150s over there, maybe 155s, all kinds of opportunities. Bama, I wrote on 5 of my stocks this morning, SGS, SMH, IBM, and VGT. I brought in 61.91 for the day. I will put stink offers in to buy back at around 30% of that price. This works for me. I hear you there, Bama babe. Well done. If you can score those back for under $2,000, you keep $4,000 plus dollars. That helps keep you self-employed. Absolutely nicely done. Bobby, I was daydreaming on DCA with SoFi on this calculator this morning. I can only add more money monthly now. SoFi under 7 was juicy. There you go. Juicy, says Stephen. AB, I heard some rumor that ATIP is looking to be bought out. Anybody heard anything? If true, what does it mean for shareholders? I haven't heard the rumor, so I don't know. Bama babe, anyone that says Uncle Bruce does not understand option writing is badly informed. He definitely has changed my life. Thank you, Bama babe. Clay, I picked up 200 more shares of SoFi around $7, bringing me to 1,500 shares. I wrote May 22nd, 750 calls just in case today's run breaks back down. Interesting. Zed, Uncle Bruce, I still have my GameStop 135 expiring this month on the 29th. I had to roll. I sold for 22. Do I wait or what do I do right now? I think you just wait. Just wait. Yeah, sit tight. It's coming to you. Zach, good morning, gang. I'm number 261. I'm checking in. Welcome, buddy. 99 Nation Lavado. I suffer from sausage finger today. Apparently, BW, does Spire or ATIP management have any weight to help move them up in value? How could they price it at $10 to go public, yet the market says their value is way down here? Who screwed up Uncle Bruce? Again, BW, it's not the corporation itself that's screwed up. It's not the management of the company that's screwed up. It's the investors. The investors who bought in at 10, especially the PIPE investors, they were figuring it was an easy double right off the bat because so many other SPACs have done so well. What they didn't count on and no one counted on was the absolute destruction that the SEC would place on SPACs. All 600 SPACs got whacked by the SEC over a 6-month time frame. Relentless rule changes, massive mandatory write-downs, all kinds of new rules, millions and millions spent in new legals, new accounting fees, new filing fees. They whacked each SPAC badly to protect investors, which has cost investors dearly, and there's nothing an investor can do about it but wait it out. So it's Uncle Bruce. Can you see a world where some of these former SPACs trading at sub 5 get bought out for less than the original 10? I really believe in companies like Emmy, but the price concerns me. Swinson, anything is possible in the markets, but this is so early in the game, and it's so early in these shares and these companies' lives. You're thinking 2 years ahead of yourself. In the next 3 to 6 months, these stocks could all reach that $5 to $7 to $10 level again. And then they might be interested in takeovers at 15 to 20. Who knows? Time will tell. BW masking has ended as of this AM on all U.S. air carriers. It was a real hoot and hollering session on the flight. Kareem, Uncle Bruce, you think SoFi is a takeover? Nope. But I think SoFi is a bargain for long-term investors. Yeah. Mr. Mojo, Uncle Bruce, what is your favorite kind of cheese? Oh my gosh. I love all kinds of cheese. I don't have a favorite. I'm a DQ Bama babe. I always get to the point where I look at the last 30% and talk myself into chasing it. Smoked dog. I don't understand how Spire makes an acquisition, jumps to $19, then literally drops 75% in less than a month. I hear you there, my friend. Bilbus, what's a dumb thing to be hooting and hollering over in a flight? What a dumb thing. Dumb, even dumb. Anyway, there you go. What can I say? It is what it is. 346 gain on the Dow. We're down $1.12 on Twitter. Sextera is up a dime. Rocket Lab is up 20 cents to 818. SoFi 742 up 29 cents. GameStop up 639 to 147.85. The high today on GameStop was 148.58. We're now at 147.86. So we're down 70 cents from the high today, but we're still up there. AMC 1816 up 68 cents. Matterport 702 up 36 cents. ME 340 and a half, 8.5 cent gain. Spire 178 and a half up 3.5 cents. ATIP 173 up 1 penny. Smart Rent 508 up 12. Pfizer still down 67 cents to 51.17. Hewlett Packard HPQ 38.48 up 6 cents. Robinhood 11.16 up 17. Vanik up 3.46. Home Depot up 4.30. IBM up $1.30. Microsoft up 3.19. Apple up 1.53. Goldman up 3.41. Cisco up 28. Facebook up 4.44. We have gains, but not multi-dollar, massive gain. We have gains, but don't get too excited about it. Yellen warns 10 million more people face poverty because of food costs. Dow up more than 400 points, fueled by Boeing, Disney, J&J, and Nike today. There you go. That is the deal right there. Okay. BW. So they added all those new rules and fees to hose the SPACs, but seems their illustrious IPO still screw people too. So where's the balance? Writing options can't be the only way. Well, right now it is the only way. It's not fair, but it is what it is. IPOs right now are dead in the water. Any IPO done in the last year, I don't know if they're up or not, a handful. Most are probably down substantially. From their first trade, they're probably down substantially. SPACs have been taken to the watershed, and there are hundreds of SPACs trying to find a deal to merge with, can't find the deal. There are hundreds of SPACs like the ones we have that did their deals, got their money, paid down their debt, eliminated it, are sitting on cash balances, and are growing their businesses. SoFi is one. Rocket Lab is another. ME is another. Smart Rent is growing. They're all growing. The shares are behind the potential of the company. But that's a share problem, not a company problem. That will iron itself out. It always comes around. What you got to stick around and tolerate those days like now where it's not right. And that's what it is. 148.41 on GameStop. We're pushing a new high right now. We're trying to push a new high. 148.59 looks like the high trade from where I can see here. 148.59 has been the high trade so far on GameStop today. The volume on GameStop now is 814,000 shares, not even a million. We are not getting the rush that really should be coming. It's just not happening. 148.48 right now on GameStop. Up 701 a share at this point in time. TIFF at BW, the difference is that with the IPO, the people who get screwed give their money to some rich folks, and the rich people don't want to change this game. They want to keep this game the way it is because the brokerage firm, they got their top clients in at 10, 20 bucks a share. Then they did the IPO at 40 to 50 bucks a share. Then it started trading at 100 to 125 a share, and that's where you got in. And everyone you're selling to got in at a way lower price. And that apparently is okay with Congress. That's quite all right. We don't have to investigate that. That's all right. Anyway, what am I going to say? Zach, Sonny Bono had a share problem too. 99 Nation, if any companies rise in this recession, they will be required to have a positive income stream. Nothing will ever happen without a runaway liquidity from the Fed. Duncan, how's the kids, Zach? Duncan was saying hello. 148.15 on GameStop, up 669. AMC at 18.17, up 69 cents. The Dow right now up 365, holding most of the gains quite nicely. The S&P up 53. We've got NASDAQ up 203 right now. Not bad at all right at the moment. Cheers to all of you around the world who are here with me today. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope you're taking advantage of some of these moves up, the right options, and take some positions. Selling is the hardest thing to do. When to write a call option, difficult to predict. Writing GameStop calls right now might be a very good idea. This might be the moment to write calls on GameStop. Whether they expire on Friday or next week or the week after, this might be the time to do this, just as a strong hint from your friend Uncle Bruce. I could be wrong. The stock might go higher, but then again, the stock might have topped out already. It might go back. I don't know. The volume isn't there. I can tell you that. It isn't there. So will it go back to 140 today? Maybe not. It might only go to 144 today. Maybe it'll go to 138 tomorrow morning on the opening. And you wrote this afternoon, and the stock is down $10 tomorrow morning, and you're going, ooh, am I ever glad I did that with Uncle Bruce? I followed his thought there. Again, it's up to you to decide when the right time is to write a call. You got to bring in the cash before you can buy it back. You got to sell it before you can buy it back for less. You want to sell into strength? This is strength. The Dow has topped out over 400. It's now only up 371. Maybe the Dow has topped out for the day. I don't know. Maybe it has. Just saying, there's a time where markets take a pause. Maybe this is it. Okay, 740 on SoFi. High of the day, 749. We topped out 20 minutes ago. Rocket Lab high today, 819, 20 minutes ago. High of the day for Matterport was 704, 20 minutes ago, or 701. ME high of the day, 343. We're at 335, 20 minutes ago. Spire, 179.5. High of the day, 180, 20 minutes ago. ATIP 173, high today, 20 minutes ago, 174.8, just backing up ever so slightly. Smart Rent 509 right now, high today, 516, 20 minutes ago. Maybe 20 minutes ago was a significant moment in time. Maybe GameStop is now near its high today, 148.25, high today, 148.59. Maybe now is the time to write call options. Okay. Uncle Bruce, would you agree that if anyone holding our favorite stocks who doesn't need to make money on them right now is better off just holding for the next year or two? Yeah, maybe, is now the right time to buy all you can of Spire and ATIP, 173 to 180 a share for 2 years? Maybe in 2 years, these stocks are $5 to $7 to $10 to $12. Maybe not. Maybe they're still here. Maybe they're at $15, $25. Maybe they get to 6, 7, get taken over by somebody else, and you own some other stock. Maybe, but the downside, maybe this is it. Maybe 99 Nation looks like they're shuffling values away from some of the big caps of this purportedly positive day at work. The dirt swept under a new rug, musical rugs. Wally Monketard McGee, a favorite stock to buy for writing call options beside HPQ, GameStop, or SoFi. Favorite stock to buy for writing poor man covered calls. Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, Apple, Cisco. There's a few for you. Get to work. Swinton, I have 4 or 5 year outlook on most of these guys, and that's okay. To each his own. Whatever your outlook is, it's all cool with me. There's all kinds of ways to play this market. We're up 400 on the Dow, trying to hold this level. GameStop 148.26 right at the moment. High today 148.59. We're near the high, very close. This might be the high of the day. It might not. Option writing might be right now. Just pick your spots, kids, and see what you want to do. Let's see what's going on, babies. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to be on again today at 3 o'clock, by the way, for the final hour of trading today. So join me for that. We'll follow up on how things are going there. We'll watch all these stocks and markets and shares and everything else. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm on in the morning before 8:30 for Gold Bagel members. Then I'm on at 8:30 for all of you guys. Then I'm on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, prime time with Uncle Bruce for Gold Bagel members only. These guys, tomorrow night's show. So if you want to join tomorrow night's hangout with this guy and talk about whatever you want to talk about, all your options, we can do that tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Prime time with Uncle Bruce for Gold Bagel members only by special invitation. Become a Gold Bagel member right now. You will receive that invite. By the way, I keep forgetting this. I always forget this because I yap so much. I talk. Look, if you're interested in getting your hands on any kind of swag, like a hat like this, or even my TWB hat, Traveling with Bruce hat, you want to get your hands on these mugs, or you want to get your hands on one of these bags. All of this stuff is made by Redbubble, of which a link is down below in the description of this channel. Here's another item here. You can get all these items through Redbubble. I want to let you know that they sent me a message yesterday. Now, some of you might have this. Some of you may have this message already. Some of you may not. But they sent a message out yesterday that 20% off everything on Redbubble. I don't make the prices on Redbubble. I just get a royalty for any item that sells with my logo on it. The only thing I ask you is, if you're putting in a buy order with Redbubble, make sure that the seller's name is my name. There are imposters who are pretending to be me. You got to look for Bruce Frommert. That's my name. You got to find me, offered by or sold by Bruce Frommert. But if you want to get 20% off anything on Redbubble, sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee mugs, cell phone covers, it just goes on and on. Clocks, wall clocks, all kinds of stuff. Go over there. There's 80 items. Caps are available. Head on over to the Redbubble store. Place an order, 20% off. It's good for today and tomorrow, I think. We're running out of time, though. It's today, tomorrow for sure. You need to enter a code. And when you get to your Redbubble store, they will tell you about the deal. At the very top, they'll tell you what the deal is. So you have to enter a certain word at checkout time. And they will tell you there what the code is. You remember Hans Gruber was asking Mr. Takagi for the code, please? We'd like the code, please. You're going to need the code, please, to get the deal, all right? So I warn you that don't be like Mr. Takagi and refuse to give the code, because it would be a shame to ruin such a beautiful suit that you're wearing today. And remember, Mr. Gruber will only count to 3. There will not be a 4. So there you go. Okay, so check it out. Let me know what you ordered. Tell me what you're ordering, so you can let us in on this. That would be great. Okay, guys, there you have it. The code. Don't forget the code to get 20% off anything on the Redbubble store with my logo on it. You gotta love that. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate this. Okay. What else is going? Bruce said swag. Anyway, there you go. What else is happening here? We're watching the Dow right now up 378. We're watching Rocket Lab up 26 cents to 824. We got SoFi 743 up 30 cents. GameStop 147.56. The high today looks like 148 something here. Looks like 148.65 was the high. We're at 147.85. Almost giving up $1 now on the day. Okay. AMC is up 65 cents to 813. It's off a little bit from its high, which was 831. And right now we have 702 on Matterport, 334 on ME, down about a dime from its high. Spire 179, a couple pennies lower. ATIP 173, a couple pennies lower. Smart Rent 509, definitely lower from that 516 high. It's now 509. There you go. Dow up 375 at the moment. Okay. I want a shirt with Jen serving a bagel loaded in cash. Is that possible? Not yet. Loaded with cash in the bagel, no less. Not yet possible. And 148.27. We're back over 148 on the GameStop again, trying to establish the high level. Maybe not. We're hanging around. 372 gain on the Dow, a 55-point gain on S&P, and a 221-point gain on NASDAQ. The oil price down 432 at 103.89 right now. 103.88.89 for oil. We're off 433 a barrel at the moment. Okay, that is the deal at the moment. Okay. Yes. What is going to happen as the day wears on? I kind of wonder we might be topping out a bit for the Dow. Maybe we might test this level for a bit, see if we can hold it, have an intraday meltdown, maybe not. I don't know. GameStop seems to be topping out. So does SoFi. So does Rocket Lab. They seem to be topping out here. The markets have gone flat just the last 20, 30 minutes. Maybe this is it for the day or for the next few hours. We'll consolidate a little bit, maybe try a 1 hour run at the end of the day, maybe not. Stick around. I'll be back at 3 o'clock after I end this show. I'll take a bit of a break and then we'll pop back at 3 and see what the market wants to tell us, what it wants to give us, what it's indicating, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, there's the dealio. Yeah, earnings coming out tonight, tomorrow Tesla coming out with earnings. We'll be waiting for that. See what they have to say. Be curious to know how that plays itself out. Okay. Never a dull moment out there. Let's take a look here at headlines from other indicators, other outfits. We've got a company called Student Housing is being acquired by Blackstone. They're putting a $13 billion bet on that company, betting that students will return to campus. Interesting. Global airlines are weighing their rules on mask wearing after the U.S. drops the mandate for masks in U.S. flights. Air France and Lufthansa are still requiring masks, while British Airways and KLM say it depends on the destination. That's what's going on there. And we'll see what happens on that. Anyway, there it is. What else is going on here? Florida Governor DeSantis seeks to end the Walt Disney World's special tax district. Republican governors clashed with Disney over the company's stance on Florida's parental rights in education bill, known by its opponents as the Don't Say Gay legislation. Okay. What else is happening here? Let's see. Other headlines out there. Johnson & Johnson suspends COVID vaccine sales guidance. A viral video of a teen's fatal fall at amusement park highlights social media debate. I can imagine it would. What else is going on here? Investors check back into hotels as travel picks up. Okay. Walmart heirs are launching their own Woodstock. Bentonville meets Bonero as concert promoters team up with the family behind the retailing giant to bring a culture festival to a city known for being the home to Walmart's headquarters and Crystal Bridges Museum. Okay, interesting. Okay. Any other comments here? Any other headlines to worry about? Most of these are a couple days old, so I'm kind of on top of that info right there. There you go. Thank you one and all for being here. We got about 10 minutes left in our day here. We're at 148.20 on GameStop. High today, 148.65 it would appear. See if I can get this to work. There it is. 148.65 is the high. The Dow up 389 right now. There it is. 99 Nations. You know, this is the worst part of the show. I eat my last bagel, and that all by myself song starts to flame up like a jukebox in an empty bar. Oh no. My. Oh, it used to be so much easier. It's not that easy anymore. It's just not that easy anymore. And by the way, any of you out there want to have a private one-on-one session, let me know. We'll see if we can set you up for something this Saturday or Sunday. We'll take it from there. Thank you again for 269 thumbs ups on this show today. Thank you for 269 thumbs ups. We're going to be hopefully hitting 300 before we're off the air here. That is wonderful. Thank you guys for nailing that thumbs up button for me and giving the show a little bit of momentum. Appreciate it. What else is going on here? Not really a ton. There isn't a ton more happening. We are calming down a bit right now as we're watching how this is going. This market is behaving. We have a 385 point gain on the Dow and up 53 on S&P and 215 on NASDAQ. Up 1.1, 1.2, and 1.6 depending on the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. Oil down 434 to 103.51. That's what's going on over there, guys. And the Gap Band, You Dropped the Bomb on Me is a song of the day, says Duncan. Oh, man. 147.95 on GameStop after hitting high of 148.65 today. That's where we're at. The stock trying to hang around this 148 neighborhood right now as the market is holding around the 400 point gain mark. Roughly, the Dow has hit a high today of 34,840. It's right now 34,816. It is 24 points behind the high of the day, which was a gain of 430. We're up 405. So we're hanging around the high of the day in the hood. The question is whether the market is now going to find that more profit takers are coming in for the day as they unwind positions to get back to liquidity. We'll see. Cyxtera up 19 cents now to 13.27. It looks like it's taking a little shot higher. 13.20 now, up 22 cents on 46,400 volume. So Cyxtera looking a little better at 13.30. Rocket Lab 18 is at 826 up 28, and SoFi 741 up 28 cents right there. 148.14 to 148.19 for GameStop with a high of 148.65. Now 148.42. 148.42, a volume of 963,000 as GameStop is attempting to reach the high level of the day, about 20 some odd cents away from it at the moment. Uncle Bruce, have you ever thought about offering an Elon special on your one-on-ones for $420? 420? Like how to avoid Elon, maybe? Thank you for the question. 147.97 on GameStop, 148.06 as we're jumping about here. There you go, kids. There you go. Anyway, we'll see what's going on. What else is going on? Matterport 705, up 40 cents. It's a good gain. I'm happy to see it. I just hope it can hold it. This is near the high of the day on 1.5 million volume. The SoFi volume, by the way, it's 741, 15.4 million. Not heavy, not at all heavy on SoFi actually. Rocket Lab volume at 825 now, up 27 cents, 886,000. So we were hanging around 818. Now we're hanging around 825. It's up again, but the volume isn't there. We need more participation from this to really hold this and build a foundation here. 1819 up 71 on AMC. ME at 336, backed off from its high of the day. Spire 179 and a half, the range of 174 to 180 today. So we're near the high of the day on Spire. Over at ATIP, we're at 173.8 cents. That is the 169 low and a 174.8 high, and we're at 173.8. Penny away from the high of the day. 73,000 volume on ATIP. There's no volume. Smart Rent 516 on 99,000 shares, up 19 cents. It's improving, but it's not trading. Pfizer 5102 down 82 cents. Hewlett Packard up 20 cents to 38.63. There is the deal. Coming in the final 5 minutes of our show. Finishing this off, and we'll see what gives this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Make sure to join me for that. We're up 422 on the Dow, nearing the high of the day. So the Dow is fine. It's doing it. We're up 59 on S&P. We're up 242 on NASDAQ. Very good. Very good. But will this last? How much buying power and staying power do we have here? Or are we going to run into some selling, profit taking as the day wears on? 147.70 down about $1 from the high of the day on GameStop. Trying to hang out here with a 416-point Dow gain right now. All right. There you go. Folks, I'm going to pack this in. I'm going to say my goodbyes for now. Ask you to join me at 3 o'clock Eastern today as we try to conclude this market session. Staying on top of that. And thank you all that have you joined me today. Thank you for all of you with these great thumbs ups today. 273 now and climbing on the thumbs up meter. Thank you very much for this. I appreciate it. Thank you for those of you who are joining this channel, rejoining this channel, upping your membership level to a Gold Bagel member level. Thank you. You're keeping Jen and I on the air. We appreciate it. And those of you who've changed your lives, way to go. Kent, I should have bought back my 150s yesterday. Ugh, I think I'm still good, but beautiful days here in the desert, Bruce. Kent, I wouldn't worry about it. You might be buying it back later today. If we get about a $4 or $5 pullback, you're going to see depreciation. So you hang in there, Kent, not to worry at this point in time. Duncan, who likes KC and the Sunshine Band? Who doesn't? Bam, we'll see all you intellectuals later. That's right. Thank you, intellectuals and simpletons alike. All right, guys, we'll catch you this after at 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to get my break in right now, and let's see if we can make some more money later today, okay? Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.